Salute, everybody. Salute, salute, salute. Make sure this vertical doing what it's doing. Is it?
Oh wait, it already started.
We live now. So I'm trying to make sure it's vertical in. Oh yeah, it is. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Excuse me. God damn.
Okay, he getting sick.
Now I sit up here choked off my own spit. Like what the hell? Yeah, that was wild as hell. Wait a minute, why it's not vertical in?
Vertically. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's not vertical in like how it's supposed to. It look like it's a normal live, but yeah. Hold on, let me exit out here. Sometimes it take YouTube a minute for it to capture it going vertical, doing the vertical stream. Let me see. Do 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 do. Okay, there it is. All right, we good now. Salute everybody. What's up with it? Welcome to the song Pop Up Live. Come on in. Appreciate y'all tuning into the show. Got my boy Lionel chilling on the ones and twos tonight, and no, we're not DJing tonight. Forget that. Yeah. So what's up with it, bro?
How has the week been treating you, man?
Man, shoot, crazy week. I'm
Damn.
glad that this week is over with. So
Glad I
glad.
got the women doing all that for me.
Yeah, yep. Man, yeah. So my well, we ended the week. Me and the family we went out to the stockyards out in Fort Worth. So it's pretty much a area in Texas where it's literally like Texas. You know, white folks walk around with cowboy hats and rodeo and all kind of crazy stuff out there. So me and the family we went out there and just chilled out there. You know, had a good little time. Yeah, they came back in. So that's pretty cool.
Dang, I need to spend. No, I don't. I was about to say I need to spend time with my family, but no, I don't.
Yeah, I thought you already had something lined up with your
Yeah,
family.
I'm gonna be with my sister though, but I meant my family, like my brother and mom also. But that's not gonna work out.
Oh, yeah. Family reunion.
It would only be them because I don't want to have a family reunion with everybody else.
Mm-hmm. So why not?
I don't like them.
Damn, bro. I mean, I don't blame you on that. I don't blame you, shoot, but dang, it's crazy.
Maybe my aunt, maybe, but I mean that's as far as that goes.
Hmm. Man, how come black people always have family reunions in July?
I don't know. Oh man, July. If they ask for that, I tell them no. I don't know why.
Yeah, because just about all my family, they love having family reunions during July, whether it's the 4th of July, the weekend before the 4th, or the weekend after the 4th, or even sometimes in June.
That's very. You're right. I do see that. I can't tell you why. Black people just being predictable, I guess.
Hmm. Yep. But yeah, like I say, I got a couple of family reunions coming up. Am I going? Nah, I'm probably
Exactly.
not.
Huh?
Probably
Oh,
not. But
what
yeah.
am I getting out of that? Is a hot redhead going to be there waiting for me? Like, what am I getting out
Unless you call your kinfolk a hot redhead, then
of it? Like, what am I getting out of that? I mean, this week has definitely been interesting. I have been involved in several conversations. Um, I've been watching certain things. It's definitely been an interesting weekend. Oh, week.
hmm
I mean, week has been good because I went out today.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I know people think I work literally 24/8, but I don't. I mean, I'm at work now, of course, but I actually, went out today, and then I was like, I want to go back inside.
So what did you do?
Oh, I went out to the anime store.
What the hell, nigga? That ain't going
Oh
out.
yeah, that is going on. I
That
got
ain't
because
going out.
the anime store is literally in a whole mall area. So you get to go and you get to talk to you get to talk to women, and you also get to go to the anime and see what's popping, see what you about to splurge on, hang out with the
Mm-hmm.
people, have conversations.
Oh, okay, got you. Well, that makes sense. Well, was a lot of people at the one anime
Oh yeah, it
port?
definitely was a lot of people. It wasn't like at first, but like by the time it hit 1 o'clock, everybody started coming in,
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
and
But
then
what
at
they
the
do?
end, what?
But what they doing autograph signings and stuff there too?
No, not autograph signing. It's just basically a chill place. You get to
Gotcha.
buy figurines, clothes, stuff like that. You get to talk about what's happening in the community. We just chill and talk.
Oh yeah, that's cool right there. That's cool. So you should have want to be a vendor out there, bro, so you can promote your stuff.
I actually do talk about my stuff there. It's just that they can't understand it. So I need a girl to speak in layman's terms for me.
So in other words, you're gonna use the girl Broody to bring them in.
Exactly. Exactly.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's marketing.
I'm gonna have her cost plan, and then she gonna talk. I'm actually working on this currently.
Hmm. Salute, Bob. Your Bob say hey to you, Lionel.
I don't care
Any-
about her. My bad. It's bougie in here.
it's bougie in here. Yeah, salute everybody. This is Society Pop Up Live. Y'all, tonight I decided I don't want to DJ tonight. Just want to come and chill with y'all. Have a little, have a little powwow with my bro Lionel here.
Is Sweet
We'll
Rita
just
in the
chop it
chat?
up. Not yet, but we do got like
Okay.
11 people watching right now. So,
Oh, let me know when she come in the chat.
Bob
I
said
got to
whatever.
answer her question.
Bob said whatever, Lionel.
Of course. And then tomorrow it's me and the sister, so we're gonna be doing that. But she's gonna. I mean, we're both gonna be writing at the same time though, because
Hmm.
she likes to write on Sundays, and we're gonna be binge watching Bones.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I have finally finished binge watching Black Mirror. Man, say
Okay,
little bro, the last 3 episodes is lit as hell. I'm not gonna
okay. How
spoil
many
it for you,
episodes
but
is
it's
it?
lit. I believe it's 6
Oh,
total.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I believe it's 6 total, but the last 3, man, it's like a chef kiss, man. It is
Because
so
they
good.
ended the world last season, so I'm definitely interested in seeing what they do this one.
Hmm. Yeah, that whole Black Mirror universe is something else too, bro. And they steady building on it. So,
It's literally the modern Twilight Zone
hmm,
or the
yep,
Outer Limits, either or.
yep, exactly. Kenyatta, what's up with it?
So it's either or.
Hmm.
So I
But
will get to that eventually. So I'm actually, what am I watching? I'm watching the Red Ranger gets transported to another world. I'm halfway through it, and I'm trying to finish that next week. And my mom is begging me to watch Solo Leveling, so I got to get that out the way
hmm,
eventually.
yeah, your Bob says she's going to watch Black Mirror tonight. Yeah, Black Mirror is lit. All the episodes is good, but to me the last 3 episodes is, man, it is, yeah, it's wonderful
Barb,
to me.
why watch Black Mirror when you can go to www.airtothestars.com and read Sugsverse.
You heard that, Barb? You need to be
But
she need to be bench reading Air to the Stars subverse.
exactly, support your boy. They always want to support the white people.
Barb said, "What?"
See, always want to support the white people, and
But yeah,
that's confusing.
but
But
yeah, man, it's pretty good though, man. I enjoyed it a lot, man. I enjoyed Black Mirror a lot, man. You
I'm
know,
glad
so
you pulled up that episode to pretty much debunk Anthony Mack, where he sold himself to
oh
be
yeah,
kissed by another guy.
yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy work, man.
And I knew you was gonna go there because he sound like a hypocrite.
hmm
Meanwhile, he over here lip locking with another dude.
Yeah. Lip locking with another dude, but talking about masculinity is dead. Now, bro, it's dead because of actors like you.
Selling out.
That's why it's dead.
I talked to my grandmother, by the way, and I gotta open this can of worms. I talked to my grandmother about the whole thing about opening the doors and whatnot, and she fully understands.
Oh yeah. So what was her overall take on it?
She said, "You're doing it for your family, your loved ones. That's all that really matters."
hmm You know what's interesting about that, bro, is that I also said that I don't open up the door for my grandmother, right? But
Yep.
let me add a little bit more context to that. All right. So the reason why I don't open up the door for my grandma because she don't have that mentality where it's a requirement. First of all, second of all, even if I remotely try to do that, she will prevent me from doing that. That is how the way she is. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel her.
So
Right,
I
my own point.
Yep. So I never do it. I never do it. I never open up the door for her or anything. She fine. You know, she's one of them type of independent woman who don't like all that. She didn't even like for her husband to do that.
I'm a PhD. I had
Yep.
to. So yeah,
Bob said you must be at work.
I'm always at work. Every time y'all hear me, I'm at work.
hmm Yep. But it's all good though. But yeah. I just want to bring that context because apparently when I said that, man, it just created World War III,
It
gender war
did,
like it ain't nothing.
and it's these women don't like to admit that they create stipulations on a man being a man, and I think that's weird that they can't admit it. They're the ones who create the stipulations on what you have to do to be a man, but then don't want to admit that they created these stipulations on that.
hmm Yep. Yep. I agree. I agree.
I don't see Barb in the lounge like that? What's she been doing?
Being bougie.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds
so
about right.
we give Bob a little bit of a pass. So you know she got to do her job of being bougie.
Mhm. Ain't she one of those military women?
Yeah,
Uh,
bougie military. So Kenyatta, she said that the wish list is more. I'm sorry. She said the stipulations are more of a wish list for women.
But then y'all need to admit that. Y'all don't say that crap. Y'all have no problem if a man, let's say a man, he doesn't open the door. You emasculate him. And maybe not you in particular, but no woman's going to tell me they haven't seen other women do that. Y'all emasculate these men. If he doesn't walk on the side of the street where he's more likely to get hit, he gets emasculated
Mm-hmm.
because that wish list turns into a reality.
Yep. And we was on panels where women did admit that if this man don't do that, then yeah, that dude's not considered as being a gentleman.
One of them said he's gay.
Kenyatta, she also said that she's not a feminist, so it doesn't apply to her.
It's okay. I'm just saying that I'm sure y'all have seen women who operate like this. Even if y'all don't do it, y'all have seen women do it. Because there's too many men complaining about it or bringing it up for y'all not to have seen it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. So let me pick your brain real quick, bro. How you feel about the whole concept about how the way women dress? Do you think women should dress a certain way, like for us modestly, or do you believe it's okay for them to go out and in public and be having their cheeks and titties and all this stuff hanging out?
I think women should dress modest. I think most women should be dressing like nuns with a mask over their face. And simply because you know there's sharks out here. And while women are trying to make the argument, oh, well, men still go after them, they're less likely to, though, because we're not going to sit here and play stupid. If y'all are dressing like nuns and whatnot, you're turning temptation down. You're lessening that temptation, or you're lessening them objectifying you. All the negatives that come with how they dress can literally be erased if they just dress fully covered with a mask on their face. Save that for when you go home, because when you go home, now you can bring out pink from Victoria's Secret for your man.
Mm-hmm.
Walk around with a G string and some clear heels for your man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, they invite those problems.
Yeah, so like I seen different TikTok and IG videos, right, where you had the dude who's interviewing these couples and stuff, right, and so it was like a couple of couples where the woman was dressed like real provocative, right, and then you had the dude he has to do like why do you allow your woman to come out dressed like that? And every dude say the same exact thing. They say, well, she's looking good, she's looking hot. You know what I'm saying? She's a meal.
They submitted to her, essentially. They
Hmm.
submitted to her.
Yep. So I question that. I question that a lot. If I want my wife to look like a meal for other people, then right off the back, and we shouldn't be married at all. Period. She needs to
Yeah,
just be gone. Go ahead and be for the streets. Even if I admit that to my yeah, she's a snack, a meal, or whatever. I like it when she give these men attentions. Man, that is such a beta simp move that I don't know what.
y'all ready for the streets if that's the situation.
Hmm. Because all of that's supposed to be for me, right? Even if you're in a relationship with a woman, that's supposed to be for you and your eyes only, not for you and the whole world eyes. You know what I mean?
But that's not how we are. That's not how society is operating currently. Society is operating under the situation that, hey, she's for everybody. You're free to look at me. You can look, but you can't touch. What's wrong with me dressing like this? Like, these women are walking out in lingerie in the streets, and then you'll have some girls saying, "Where do you see that?" But I know y'all not that blind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a very high area of rich white people and Asians, and I still see this stuff. Now, unfortunately, I'm seeing it more from the black women, but I'm still seeing this stuff. I know y'all seeing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to leave it to the imagination no more. Because
Yeah,
again, they for everybody.
yeah, facts. Yeah, all that, man. That's too much, man. That's too much. And for the dudes that still period that's condoning that behavior and letting them do that, that says a lot about that dude, man. I ain't
And,
lying.
and now we gotta hold the men accountable because they allowing it. They're literally submitting to these women and allowing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like, oh, Kenyatta, she said this. She said, all of my female friends are professionals having classes important to us. Maybe it's because we are older, but I teach my daughters the same, and they cover themselves, which that's cool. That's the whole point what they were talking about, is that you should have some class. Now, I understand the concept about being classy, where it could be uh sexy, right? But it's not too revealing. That I believe it's nothing wrong with that. But when you literally sit up here in an area, you're going out on a date, and it literally look like you going to a club, look like you look like you belong to the strip club or wherever the hell you're gonna do. Physical ready to do a porn video, look like you get ready to do an OnlyFans video. Then nah, that's not acceptable at all. Period. Yeah, that's some bull crap right there.
But that is where we're at now. Instagram does not make it better. And I'm not trying to say Instagram represents the majority of women. So let that be known. However, Instagram is constantly showing you the Instagram thoughts. Like I know people who don't even follow these women because women are telling me when they go on Instagram, they're seeing the Instagram thoughts. You're
Mm-hmm.
seeing them. And what are they doing? Dressed in their lingerie,
Yep.
taking their booty.
Yep.
So you can't hide from it. You go to X, you're gonna see it once or twice. It's inevitable. Like
Mm-hmm.
Thanos. Um, it's just that's where we're at though, unfortunately. And we got the new generation. So with the current thing that came out recently, because I want to put this together, when they're talking about how more women over 40 are having kids now, I want to know how this is going to look. Are these women over 40 going to be complacent and just let their girls walk out like this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious.
So it's many women that are over 40 that they allow their behavior simply because they're doing it right now. They're teaching them that. They're teaching that it's acceptable.
And a lot of these women are pushovers. A lot of these women are pushovers despite what they want to see. Of course, you're going to have the women that say, not me, not my friends, not my circle, but that's not reality. Well, I mean, it might be your reality, but overall, the general public is showing you something very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts. Facts, I agree. And that this comes to the whole topic about women being objectified. A lot of women out there they hate for a man to objectify them, to look at them like they're a piece of meat, look at them like they're a snack or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? They hate that, but at the same time, they don't want to do nothing to change the behavior. They don't want to do nothing to hold themselves accountable. But also at the same time, they want us as men to hold the men accountable who objectify them. What's up, Constance? Kenyatta, she said, younger people don't have their own minds. They see singers with um, bodysuits on and nothing, but those women can't even keep a man. And then Kenyatta says this on women over 40 or getting BBLs. That's ridiculous. The dumbest and most dangerous trend there is, which I agree to that too.
But despite how dumb we're saying it, to them, it's for their quote unquote confidence. It's for their mental health.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, Constance, she said, "Hey, Lionel, when you gonna pull up to Texas this year?" She didn't actually
Hold on.
say So she didn't actually say that. She just say, "Hey," but
What's up, Constance? I don't trust y'all Texas women. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I see all that shit happening in Texas right now. I don't trust none of y'all. And they changing child support laws. Ain't no way I'm coming over there.
yeah, I seen that article. I like, how in the hell did they get past Senate?
I,
That was
I
one of them
don't feel
bills that I didn't
protected.
even see because I sure have voted against it.
I don't feel protected in Texas no more. I'm not going over there. Y'all women got too much power over there.
Hmm. Yeah. All the dudes in Texas, man, yeah, y'all need to start wrapping it up. Y'all got two options: either wrap it up or get a vasectomy because this child support law has come out and
You
crazy.
can't you can't even trust them taking that day after pill. You gotta force them to swallow it.
Nah, you gotta give them a Mickey while they drink it and put it in a drink.
Like at this point, yeah, I can't trust these Texas women now.
So those of y'all don't know what we're talking about. So there's a new child support law that's getting ready to go to the House. They already passed Senate and it's going to go into the House. So the law is that they are going to allow for child support to start at the moment of conception. Meaning that as soon as this dude nut up in this woman and the woman find out that she's pregnant, then they can start child support right in there. Versus started child support after when the child is actually born. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not with it, man. So Texas, that's out. Y'all can come to Georgia, but I ain't going to Texas.
Hey,
I
you
need
hear
to
that?
feel protected.
Hey, Constance, you hear that? You want to take a trip out to the ATL?
I need to feel like my rights as a man is protected.
Yep.
This is why it's funny when women say they don't feel protected, but at the same time, the laws are being built around giving them what they want.
Hmm. Um, can y'all just say mental health? I was always talk about for having a large backside. Now it's in, and women are buying it for mental health. Okay, and she talking about the BBLs, by the way.
I know.
Then she said, I didn't hear about the one child support law. They should not do that. Yeah, that's only in Texas though. That it already passed Senate. It's going to the House, and then if it passed House, then the governor going to sign it into law.
I mean, it's already gotten that far. I mean, at this point, we know it's a wrap.
Hmm.
Dudes might as well just start training right now on slipping the rubber on, using all type of tricks.
Yeah, for real. I'm
Because
telling you, I'm telling you, the only option you got is either condoms or vasectomy.
it is a given now. It's I actually it's kind of on this, but I forgot where it was. It's somewhere around India where I remember having this conversation about that law that was going to change the age of consent from 18 to like 11 or 12 for young girls. And I
Hmm.
remember they was like telling me, I was talking to a couple women, and it was like, that's never going to pass. And then when it passed the first house, I said, are you sure? And then when it passed the second house, overwhelmingly passed the second house. I said, that's a wrap. All these little girls about to get assaulted. Then it passed the third house and then went into full effect.
Yeah, man, that's crazy work right there.
But we protect the children, right?
Mm-hmm.
People swear they protect the children. And I'm one of the, you heard me numerous times be like, we don't protect our kids.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I agree. That's crazy work, man. Imagine that. Imagine that changing that in America, bro. That'd be crazy. That'll
Dude,
open up the door for pedophilia like ain't
so
nothing,
much.
bro.
Like, so I can understand if people overseas trying to come to America now, make sure their kids are protected. I mean, at least more protected.
Hmm. Speaking of pedophilia, I heard that they're trying to be a part of the LGBTQ community.
Yes. And then I've got videos on that. They are making their argument hard about they want to be part of that because there should be no reason why they're not part of it. And that's how they're looking at it. They're thinking that LGBT is doing more damage than what pedos are doing. And the only thing is they're just attracted to young people and then they still get consent from them. It's not like they're abusing them. This is what they've said.
That that should absolutely make no sense whatsoever.
This is what they have said.
Crazy.
And this is why I say like people this is why I said people need to pay attention to some of these conversations that are happening around it. It deals with their children.
Hmm. Facts. Facts. Even the conversations that we be talking about, it not only deals with men and women, but it just deals with the family and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because like some people they listen to our conversation, they're like, oh man, they must not like women or men or whatever the case may be. Now, overall, our heart is in the right place when we talk about this stuff. Even though it may come out harsh or it be a tough pill to swallow, but overall, man, we really do be caring about folks because we want folks to be aware of what's going on. So you can make the choice to also bring awareness in your social bubble or whatever the case may be.
I don't care what these people think. I know my heart in the right place. I got plenty
Hmm.
of people that are vouch. I'm tired of helping people though. That's why I need a break to concentrate on me. Too many people got too many problems.
Yeah. So have you traveled lately?
Not out the state, not lately.
Still, bro, I think it was about that time for you to start traveling somewhere.
I'm
Get a
tired
little
of traveling
vacation.
too. Vacation? What's a vacation?
That's when you're not working at your job and go spend your money
What is a vac? No,
in another state.
I'm trying to spend some girls' money, man.
Now, according to the women on YouTube, you need a vacation. But with a woman, you and a woman go out.
No, according to these women on YouTube, I'm supposed to literally go have my pockets go dry for some shit.
Yeah, during the vacation, they want you to do the vacation. Find a woman, take her on the vacation so you can be pussy whipped.
Yeah, they want me to be pussy whipped. They literally are saying that. Why would they wish that on me? These women will stay. They stay trying to turn a dude into a beta male, and then they'll be like, "What's wrong with that?"
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
again,
oh, no,
go ahead.
go ahead. No,
We
go
got a
ahead, go
whole
ahead.
social experiment right now, which has proven our point. The other night, this week, when Urban his internet went out and had all these women, quote unquote, joking about how they wish that his wife would essentially dog walk him, beat him into submission, have him crying, snatch the internet away from him. He can't talk without her permission. This was what they found funny. It tells you what these women want. They want dudes to be a cuck, a beta.
Hmm.
They'll tell you soft, but then soft doesn't get you the cat.
Hmm. Yeah, what I also find interesting is that as long as we and I Steve Harvey or Derek Jackson are right, where we saying all the right things or doing the right things, then that's socially acceptable. But the moment when we step into our masculinity and start enforcing things or, standing firm on what we believe in, then we're no longer in our masculinity. That becomes an
You're
issue.
toxic. You're toxic at that point. If you don't sound like Steve Harvey, you a toxic male, apparently.
Hmm.
The man who's been married 3 times.
Yep. So I be trying to figure that out too. The whole mentality behind that, where women want men to be the way that they want them to be, versus just totally accepting a man for how the way he truly is. And the crazy part about it is that that's what get these women into trouble too. Because just like I stated before and I stated again, a man is going to show you his hand because we're very transparent. But the issue is that woman don't accept that. They just want that man to be how the way they want him to be. And so they end up creating this whole new false reality of how this dude is, right? And create this reality. Then as soon as this dude step out of pocket of that said reality, then guess what? Oh, he's toxic or he changed. Nah, baby girl, you didn't accept him for how he originally was, his original nature. It just is what it is. So like case in point, if this dude out here, he's a known player, he's a known cheater, and he just so happened holler at you because you fixing to be number 20. You know what I'm saying? You feel like that you the exception to the rule. You feel like, well, regardless of me being number 20, I'm the exception of the rule that I could change this dude. And you go on this whole conquest to try to change this dude, and next thing you know, guess what? You're number 20. You became number 20. Now you're mad at this dude because he made you number 20. But now you need to hold yourself accountable because you accepted that dude to begin with in the first place. When that dude already told you who he was. It is what it is. We could also hold Buddy accountable for going out there and sleeping with women and all this stuff. I mean, we can, but I mean, how far can we hold him accountable if he's literally telling you who he is, his
No,
nature, and
so
everything?
it's very hard for me to. It's gonna sound bad, but it's hard for me to hold men accountable in this respect, mainly because women love to create this argument. It takes two, but yet if they don't say yes, it's considered abuse. So it cannot happen unless they say yes legally.
Mm, mm-hmm.
The fact that women can still say, I didn't consent after the fact also pretty much put the ball in the woman's court. So Howard, it's kind of hard for me to realistically be like, yeah, I gotta hold this dude accountable when all the power is on her. Because even
Yep.
after she says yes, she can still say no.
Absolutely. She could, at that moment, change her mind. She could start out by saying yes. Then next thing you know, she'll be like, you know what, I'm just not feeling it.
And if
And me
she
to
was
say no.
wrong, if she feels, and if she feels like you just pointed out, it's a wrap. Of course, they'll say, "Where are you meeting these women?" Though that's where they'll always go. Where are you meeting these women?
So these women is y'all homegirls. These women is
Yo,
y'all sisters.
this dude has been here for only 2 hours now, and he's already tired of working.
What the
He's
hell?
like, he's only been here for 2 hours. He's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do this. Dude, you've only been here for 2 hours.
Now he ready to go home.
He is
That's what that
ready to
is.
go home.
Now I'm talking about he ready for you to sing him on, put him out of his misery. Like, yeah, go on
No, he
clock
can
out,
take
bro.
a
You
break. I
good.
got more work for him. He can take a break, but I got more work for him. The dude has just been off an entire week. Let me note that.
Damn. So I guess his mind was not focused on working after that vacation.
To be fair, he do got some personal stuff going on. So I'm giving him a little pass.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Giving him a little pass because he has an extreme situation happening. So his mind isn't really here. So I understand.
So look at Lionel being a great boss.
Just, I got to be realistic. The way he got on, I can't expect him to be locked in. So it's like, hey, do what you can.
Mm-hmm.
Do what
Yep.
you can. It is what it is. But then you got another boy who called out tonight because he was quote unquote sick, and I don't believe him.
Nah, he had a hot date tonight.
When it comes to the young people, I don't believe them. Just it is what it is. The work ethic is trash. If the work ethic of young people today is trash, in a lot of cases, this isn't to discount some of the young people who are standing outside the crowd and are putting in that work. How do you think it's going to look when you got these old mamas, these grandmas having these kids?
Mm.
Because
Yeah,
that's
good.
all they're saying.
Yeah, that goes to the question of who raising them.
These grandma, I've got my mom to admit that too. You know, that hey, the women are the ones raising all these boys that she don't like currently.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So what's this whole deal about you and religion, bro? Why why
Go
these
for it.
women on you why these women on YouTube think that you just a straight out atheist?
I don't know because I've never said that. But that's how, and this is where women love to put words in your mouth. That's the thing. They love to put words in your mouth. And it's like, I mean, they was doing it the other night with you. And they did it numerous times with me, and I had to call them out on that. But they love to put words in your mouth and twist what you're saying. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, because they want me, what do they want? A God fearing man or a God loving man, however they want to interpret it. But when they hear that I'm not, and then they think, oh man, it's only coming from these places of hurt and whatnot. So what? But I'm not sitting here saying, I blame dude. I'm just saying he did nothing. Life happens, chaos happens. That's life. But because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thanking him for waking up, because I'm not on my hands and knees submitting to his ego. Like I'm an atheist or I'm hateful, I'm angry. And I'm like, y'all just creating shit in your head.
Mm-hmm. Speak what's up with it. Speak he said, Lionel, what you up here ranting about?
Well, I'm not really random answering Urban's. He's funny. Urban's question because a lot of these women be thinking I'm angry at God or for one event or I'm unjustifiably shutting him out when all he does is show me love. But yet, when I sit here and counter that argument, they don't really have a counter back. They come up with a lot of BS that comes out of their mouth. But they're so they want to convert me, And I keep saying that. That's why I keep breaking up with these girls because these women be trying to convert a nigga. But because these women don't accept you for who you are, despite what they say, they want to change you. Oh, this dude, he has it together and everything. The only thing he missing is loving God. I can change that. Your vagina not that good.
Say your vagina ain't that good, man. Yeah, so like like I say, I've been in plenty of chats and stuff where where you either on a panel or you just in the chat conversator, right? And it
Yep.
goes into the same direction to where women honestly believe that you don't believe in a higher power and all kind of weird stuff. And so I was scratching, I'll be scratching my head. Why are they coming up to this conclusion? Just because of the stuff that he say. He never said that he don't believe in a higher power or anything like that. He said that God trolled his life. And then he also said the circumstances that happened in his life, he questioned that. He just questioned what's wrong with that. I don't understand that.
because now it goes into you need healing and only God can heal you. God's going to give you the answers, and then it's all going to make sense, which sounds asinine when you hear the stories that I tell. But it's like they're the ones who sound like they have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds messed up, but
Ronnie, what's up with it, bro?
like they're the ones who sound like they have an issue. And then if you start talking, the more you talk, they want to close down. They want to, because they have to be right. They have to be right. They can't
Mm-hmm.
accept the fact that this stuff was happening. He's always been there with you. And I say, and it's like, okay, I accept that. So that means I should have a problem if he's always been there, right? Because there's a lot of shit that's happened. And it's like, oh, damn, but he's just been watching. And he decides to wait 20 years later before he says, you know what? I got you. Dude, get off of me. Go somewhere. Go help Urban.
Playboy salute, welcome.
But the women want to interpret it the way they want to interpret it, just like how they want to change you into who they want you to be. That's
Yeah,
that's why.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, once again, I understand where Lionel's coming from because we all been dealt with the short end of the stick, in life. You know what I mean? Where things happen in your life and it just is what it is. The only difference is that Lionel circumstances part of the what we call it, the gray area, where there's a lot of people in that gray area more than what y'all think. That's literally in that gray area that
I be
deals with these
speaking for
extreme
'em.
situations.
And I
But
speak
yeah,
for 'em. I be trying to talk. I talk for them because they don't want to talk.
hmm yeah, exactly. And I mean I understand the reason why they don't want to
Yeah,
talk is
I get
because of
that.
where you want to be just open and honest and tell about your experience with religion and God in your life, and it just be blunt. That they feel like that they need to want to protect God. They feel like that. Well, you don't talk about my God like that. That ain't my
Well,
God. So I'm going to want to protect him. I'm going to want show him honor by saying that hey, I'm gonna want to do everything possible to get you to want to love the God that I love.
or they're gonna diminish your story by trying to tell you other people have it worse.
Oh yeah. That's crazy work right there.
They love to diminish your story by saying how other people have it worse.
hmm
And it's like, damn, okay. I mean, that doesn't help me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I tell people like if you're part of any type of religion wherever it is, right, it's very very important that you learn the mission of your say religion. It's very important that you learn how to speak to people. Don't be all just egotistical and all this other weird stuff going on with you, but just honestly learn how to speak to people. And when you speak through conviction and understanding. Because if you don't do that, then you're gonna lose that person for real. You know what I'm saying? That
I'm,
that
I'm,
person
gl-
gonna look at you differently.
I'm glad you brought that up because we talk about how these young people don't have socialization skills. But I find that these adults don't have those skills either.
Yep.
They talk like they're all good, but these people adults don't know how to talk.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's
But
true. Yeah, that's true. The moment when the said person give you pushback about your belief, the next thing you know, you feel like you got to defend it, and that's another thing too. I don't understand why people feel like that they need to defend God or defend they say
y'all,
religion. If that religion is what it is, if that religion is strong like he is, and God is who he is, God do not need your you defending him at all. Period. He really don't.
but they tried, and don't be wrong, I get it because in my case, if I start telling certain stories, now it's gonna be like, damn, I gotta say something because I already know it don't look good. But I'm not sitting here trying to compete because I always say people try to make it a competition. I'm not
Hmm.
making it a competition.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
there's no, what do I gain out of making this a competition? But at the end of the day, a lot of people do resort to that. So instead of listening to understand, looking at these women, they listen to respond. They listen to want to attack you, change your perspective to be what they want you to believe. But then they'll say, no, 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 I'm not doing that. But yet they're not listening to themselves.
Hmm. Yeah, facts. CKJ was so with it, bro. But yeah, I agree. I agree. And that's what be lacking in that, for real. Where you gotta have compassion for people for real. You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing too, and I strongly believe in this for real. I believe that your character, how the way you are, should be embedded into your religion, meaning that uh, you should be a walking, living example of your said religion that you believe in, where you don't have to prove it, but that's who you are. You know what I mean? It's engraved into you. The same concept about walking the walk, talking the talk, and all the stuff there. The same concept what people talk about with Jesus, where they're saying that Jesus was walking the planet and Jesus was the Word. You know what I mean? Um, people have to be that living image of that. You know what I'm saying? Where their life literally reflects that for real word. People will already know that you're either a man of God or a woman of God, or whatever the case may be. But if you sit up here constantly trying to defend it and trying to prove it, then at the same time you're trying to convert folks as well to the said ideology. You know what I'm saying? That to me that's like being a false prophet. I'm just saying. But then again, I understand why people do that. You know what I'm saying? Because to be quite honest with y'all, in my past life, I was that individual that used to do that to people for real, where I did things out of conviction and everything. You know what I mean? While I did certain things to folks, right? Made them feel some type of way and everything. You know what I mean?
So when it comes to the content of character, it's literally how I have a very ruthless perspective of a lot of people in this world. And it's mainly because you see reports of a very stand up guy. The person everyone is saying, yo, he's him. He's a good man. He supports the community. He puts his jacket on the ground and let the old ladies walk on it. He holding the door open for everybody. He just giving flowers out, but yet he's abusing a little girl sexually who's 2 years old behind the scenes. And it's not until you see, the report from child services or whatnot of what's been happening that it's like, wait, but he's such a good dude. Or he got a
Mm-hmm.
harem of little girls lined up that he been taking advantage of, but yet he's a community supporter. And it's like, and I know how my conversations go sometimes because it's like, damn, but that's reality. That's what be happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's very hard to judge someone's character when generally behind the scenes, when you go behind closed doors, that's not them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even right there, I could understand that. You know what I'm saying? That, and that's why I was saying earlier that, well, where you want doing that walk, you know what I'm saying, it have to be part of who you are, period. Because when they become who you are, there are gonna be certain boundaries that you're gonna set for yourself anyway to not do them sort of things. Like, want to build pedophile. You're a preacher, but you're a pedophile as well too. You wouldn't even cross that boundary to do them things. But at the same time, if you don't even have that characteristic in you to begin in the first place, then that means all bets off. You can do whatever the hell you want to do.
And this is why I talk the way I do talk and bring up certain things because, I reaffirm my whole stance on things because I understand how I was conceived. And I definitely understand what data out there shows that becomes of these people. When people have conversations saying they love to tell you, you're not your parent, but yet they'll constantly say, my sister's just like my dad. My brother is just like my mom. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like my mom. They'll love to say that because at first they'll try to discredit me for not wanting me to think a certain way, to think, oh, you don't have to be like that. That's true, but it doesn't change the reality of where I come from. And it's like, I've said it before about how my mom, she can see her and her daughter, or my sister's father and her. I can see my mom, a spitting image of my brother. I, but none of them and her can see me in her. So if they're not seeing my mom in me, they're seeing someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, it's a warning sign at the end of the day, but it also makes me hold up to a particular standard. Because I know, I got to be on point. I'm not
Exactly.
about to be this negative dude. I'm not about to be this bad person. I'm not about to be the dude that takes advantage of children and whatnot. But because so many people aren't talking about it, or a lot of people that hear it don't see that situation, the reality is they can't really resonate with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. So it takes a lot of work, man. It takes a lot of work for you to be the person that you strive to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even with conviction, it takes a whole lot. Like every day, I strive to be the best version of myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't do it to try to impress people because that's where we fall in line where people want you to be a certain type of way. Now I do it because this is who I am. You know, I choose to do the stuff that I do because this is who I am. Period. It doesn't matter.
And
And then
that's
I learned not to be socially accept. Be part of that social acceptance too.
and that takes work because we live in a world where everyone has been taught that they're special, that they can do anything, that they can be anything. And then you have so many people sitting here thinking that they're special. So much that being special is the new normal. Trying to be the outcast is the normal.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's trying to do something different only to find out they're doing the same thing. So it takes a lot of work to literally put yourself in to put yourself in your own shoes and be walking, to put the planet on your back and have to carry it, to literally be your own individual and really
Mm-hmm.
separate yourself. It does take a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Facts. So, where the Kenyatta said this. She said most people only listen to respond. Also, being a individual is villainized.
I agree.
That then on South Pass, she said, right, Kenyatta, I'm being called a bitch for my individual opinion.
I mean, let me stop.
Let's see. Did she follow up? And said, "Oh, well, can y'all said, so do I." Then South Pat said, "I don't care though, Kenyatta. I am who I am." Um, Ronnie, he said, "This a thinking man. I see Lionel as." And then Kenyatta said, "Sweet Rita, I don't either. People are full of hypocrisy, and I choose to live reality." Then Ronnie, he said, "This Lionel, you need a witty, funny woman," and that's it. And I'm not reading the other one comment
Interesting.
because
So I'm gonna
I know
answer
that dude
Sweet Rita
trolling.
since she is listening. Sweet Rita, you asked me a question. You asked what type of man am I? I am an idea. And it was asked, what does that mean? Well, all I'll say is look me up. When you look me up and you see Suggs verse, right? I didn't create that. The people created that. They looked at my body of work and said, that's what we're going to call it, on some superhero shit. And I was in a theme where my characters were going beyond omnipotence. I was showing characters at a maximal complexity beyond infinite reality differences. And because I am literally an originator doing this, and you can look through media and you will fail to find someone that was doing this before me. I had started a large wave of things that started happening, which is things they call original fictions. Original fictional characters are characters that basically mimic what my stories are. Um, what do you call it? Fictional Googology is a fictional mathematics was created based off of my work. They also have situations where they're looking at certain things. The SCP verse, very SCP is a very popular franchise, but now they're saying it looks like Suggs verse. Not that I look like that; it looks like Suggs verse. I have people literally looking at certain things when characters get too powerful and stuff like that. This look like something Suggs verse would write. That's what I've become. And I've created that idea, and it's generating among people. It's journeying more and more. So I say I'm an idea. So because again, if something happens to me, Suggs verse is still here, and it's already done the damage. It was a spark that's constantly turning into a wildfire. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Look me up. I've been around for a second now.
Yep, he ain't lying though. He ain't lying. You can literally on Google Buddy for real, and he will pull up. I ain't lying.
I got you go to Google Images, you'll see nothing but a wave of quotes from Lionel Suggs. You'll see nothing but outside of quotes, threads and whatnot about me. Not always the best stuff, but I'm there. Like I do have an ego because I should. Because when I say look me up, I be dead serious. Look me up. Because nine times out
Mm-hmm.
of ten, the people y'all know, when y'all look them up, you'll find nothing. But you're gonna find me and my work for pages on end. And I'm still building.
Oh yeah, keep talking. I'm sitting up here responding to Ronnie.
Yeah, like so that's why I call myself an idea. I don't call myself a alpha male or nothing like that. I am an idea. And I've been calling myself this since I was 20 years old. I've actually inspired other people to, try to mimic me. They don't always succeed though.
Yeah, Ronnie was asking how can you look you up? I just put your one webpage in the chat.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing and just constantly moving forward with that. It doesn't stop. I've had, low moments also. but I always jump myself back up and like time to keep going. Now that I ain't messing with these girls, I'm fully locked in because these women did nothing but hold me back. Now I am fully locked in.
Mm-hmm. Kenyatta, she said, that's very interesting, Lionel. As a publisher and a marketer, I totally know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, Von's in the chat, by the way, she said, you act like you Jesus Christ. Well,
I
you talk
mean,
about yourself like you Jesus Christ.
these women, man, I swear, they always gonna try to twist stuff.
So, so the real question we need to be asking Vons is, why Vons haven't been doing her late shift live lately? What's been going on with that?
Oh, before you go into that, that's also something I wanted to bring up because she Kenyatta brought it up. There is publishers. Man, I've had conversations with publishers, and the one thing that they were keep a lot, quite a few of them said that my work, because it doesn't read at a fifth grade reading level, which is the majority of the country, you're going to have a hard problem putting this out. And then because of the level of understanding that's not coming with the work, this isn't something clearly they could market it or something that they would publish, which I wasn't looking for their approval. But listening to them, and they essentially said, if you want to put this out, you got to change everything. Every last one of them said that. You got to change everything. Like, it can't even be your own work anymore. Like, they're not looking for originality. And then
Yeah.
they decline a lot of people that do be original. I've heard quite a few of them say that too. A lot of original stuff they just utterly decline.
Mm-hmm. Because they want to get their money out of it.
They want their money, yes, and they're like, "That's not going to get money because I mean, heck, I get it. It's a business."
Mm-hmm. Von says that she's on vacation. So hold up, help me to figure this out. How in the hell are you on vacation? You just
You're a
started this
stay-at-home
late
mom.
ship with that too. But she's talking about vacation from YouTube. But I'm like, man, you just started that night shift live almost like nearly 2 or 3 weeks ago. How you going on vacation after you started almost like 2 or 3 weeks ago? That's a
You're a
pretty good
stay-at-home
concept.
mom.
That's like a really good
Stay-at-home.
concept. And she
It
like,
wasn't.
forget
It
that.
wasn't. Like these people be ruining themselves. Like they really do. Like they have a great idea, and instead of rolling with it, they get lazy. I mean, she already a stay-at-home mom. The hell she need a vacation for?
South Pass, she asked you a question. She said, so does being an ideal identify you as a man?
If you want to. I mean, I'm not a woman.
Mm-hmm. Kenyatta, she said, I am ghostwriting for 3X NFL players now. You don't need to change a thing. Just get a publisher that knows what they are doing.
They don't know what they're doing. Then again, also, if you haven't looked at my work, I think you would understand what they're saying if you really looked at it. Because that's why I'm saying it's literally true. Like, if you do the research, because I've had to have these arguments, and not like particularly with this, if you do the research, no one has done what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
that's what makes it so convoluted.
Constance back, by the way. She said, I'm back.
Why is she announcing herself?
She announced herself for you, Lionel.
Oh, okay, okay, I got you.
Even though she said Urban, I'm back, but she really talking
So
about
she
you,
ignoring me on
Lionel.
purpose? Damn. Dang.
Kenyatta said they not marketers though.
And I do agree with that. I do agree with that. But I mean, I've talked to some marketers too, but they're like, can you give me a dummies guide? No, every one of them. Can you give me a dummies guide?
Mm-hmm. South Pat, she followed up. She said this. My question was, what kind of a man are you? Your
Oh,
answer was
wow.
that you are an ideal.
Yes, that's what I am. I'm an idea. I don't prescribe to those titles, which is what I was saying.
Constant asked Lina, how many relationships have you had? I mean, I can answer that, but hey, they're talking to you.
15. And I know that sound bad. I'm not including the girls I was just talking to.
Let's see.
Women
Kenyatta,
are fun.
she says she's the smartest woman on the planet. I will look you up and
I
analyze
love it.
everything.
I love that ego. See, that's a sexy ego.
Constance, she said, Lana, you said you don't like Texas women anyway.
I said I don't trust y'all. See how they twist words? I said I don't trust y'all. I don't trust the state because it's working for y'all. Never said I don't like y'all.
Mm-hmm. Kenyatta, she said, Lionel, marketers are not educated in theory, theology, and worldviews.
Damn.
Vaughn said, Lionel, just want me to stay up with him all night while he's at work.
But you get views regardless.
Yeah, it's like a win-win deal, and I'm be honest.
She always thinks she's special though. She always trying to make herself sound special.
SD, what's up with it? All right, so South Patch asked you another question. She said, how does an ideal differ from a simp or alpha male?
My actions. I want to look at it that way. All you got to do is ask a question. One, I don't identify as an alpha male because I think those are predators and pedophiles. And y'all can just listen to me and tell that I don't be overdoing for a woman and don't get none in return. Because I'll drop
Mm-hmm.
you. That's just being honest.
Constance, she said, Lionel, if you don't trust Texas women, then you don't trust nobody.
Y'all don't fit the bill for everybody. If y'all the standard, I feel sorry for that. Because I don't be hearing good things about Texas women. Even Urban, he a whole Texan and he went to California to get his girl.
Well, no. See, what happened was that my wife came to Texas from California.
Okay, yeah, that.
Mm-hmm. But I dealt with pure Texas women. I ain't gonna lie, dude. The purebred Texas women I dealt with, they're not the best fruit of the branch. I'm just gonna put it to you that way.
You see
So
how
I,
Sweet Rick is trying to bring me down to earth, by the way?
man, say, hey, look.
I see it. I see it.
Hey, but now on the cool though, bro, man. These Texas women, man. They had me do a semi passport move. Hey, made me become a semi passport bro. I had to find another woman in another state who came from another state.
Damn. Y'all see what
Damn.
y'all homie doing? Damn.
Vaughn said, "Looks like we have something in common, Lionel."
I don't know what we got in common.
And SD said, "Texas women just like any other women." All right.
Just like any other women, I don't know, man. I think India and China got these women beat.
And custom, I know they not. Oh, Constance, but Constance, by the way, well, no, never mind, never mind. I was going to Constance. I was going to say that I was supposed to be traveling to Waco tomorrow, but never mind. I'm not. Wait a minute.
Okay.
I am supposed to be traveling to Waco. I'm supposed to be traveling to Waco in 2 weeks because me and my son going out there to Baylor. So yeah, we're supposed to be going to Waco in 2 weeks. But tomorrow we're supposed to be going to University of North Texas.
I'm glad, sweet Rita. I'm glad we brought this up, by the way, because that's also another impediment in my relationships that the women don't understand my ideology when I call myself an idea. They see the ego, but they can't really grasp it. And they want me to come back down to earth. They want me to be, that's not how I write my books, though.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I tell these women to stay doing everything in their power to try to change us.
Oh, did I address this other question with Sweet Rita? Was she talking about this alpha male thing? Oh well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but,
you did.
okay, okay. Like we're watching it right now. They constantly trying to change us. You could work
Mm-hmm.
on yourself for a long time to perfect your mindset, and then they'll come in and be like, "I don't like that. You should change it."
Yeah, that's crazy. So, ladies in the chat right now, those of y'all tuned in. So let me ask y'all this question: Why do y'all believe that you're entitled to change a man's mindset? Once again, why do y'all believe that y'all are entitled to change a man's mindset? That's a question I want to ask y'all because a lot of one, and this is not just modern women; it's women, period, that does this.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
if
women.
if a man is not to your expectation, immediately you get into this mentality that you could change that dude instead of just accept him for who he is. But the double standard end up happening is when the woman say, "Hey, you got to accept me for who I am," but however, the woman literally be trying to change the dude. So why is it that you want to change that dude? Why is it that you can't accept that dude for who he is, but we got to accept y'all for who y'all are? Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if y'all going to be transparent on this.
Oh, they don't like transparency either. Apparently, boy, I've definitely, and they'll say obviously you met the wrong one because they like the bullshit. But the reality is, when you're transparent with my story, women don't know how to handle that.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Constance says she could want to put some baby oil on your head. Kenyatta, she said, "I don't change mindsets. I take a man for what he is. I pour into him, meaning I make him better and he makes me better."
And y'all to sound too good to be true. Now I'm suspicious. Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
very suspicious now.
So, Constance, when you put that baby oil on Lionel's head, are you going to massage his scalp too? Is that what you're doing? You gonna get him a massage and all this stuff?
I'm not bald though. I just have a shaved head. Like I literally see people whose heads are shine brighter than my future.
Kenyatta, she said, suspicious. You can Google me for real.
That don't change nothing. You sound suspicious. I'm not saying you're or like not real. I don't want. I hope she didn't take it that way. But her mindset as a woman is what I'm referring to.
Uh huh. Constance said, Urban Lionel don't have no hair, but his muscles, I can't get into something like that.
What?
I don't know. It's Constance, bro. You gotta roll with it.
These women, man.
Kenyatta said, Lionel, I just bought your book. I have a synopsis for you soon.
Which book? I mean, I appreciate it though, regardless.
South Pat, she said, I have a lot of questions and answers, but my phone won't keep a charge.
Wow.
Ain't
Isn't that
God
always
good?
your responses?
Yeah, ain't God good? Like they said to
No,
me, ain't
he's
God
not.
good?
He's not. He's really not.
Kenyatta, I was raised well. Constance said, Urban Lionel will fall asleep when I get done with his head. Damn.
Kind of shit. Then I need to stay away from you then. I got work to do.
Constance said, Lionel, I could rub your head until you fall asleep.
No, I got work to do. This reminds me of Harlem Nights when you know about sunshine. Yeah,
Yeah,
keep that away
sunshine.
from me. Keep that away from me. I got work to do.
Sunshine. Oh, she said she bought Volume 1 of Air to the Stars.
Again, I appreciate you. Thank you. That's no, that was written back in 2009. That was wild. That was written. I am a completely different writer from that. Um, I actually think it's interesting to go back and look at that, and then look at the work that I was publishing in my school newspaper back in like 2003,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like you see how different I am of a writer. But again, when I see that, I be seeing all my errors and my punctuation errors and just all type of crap. I'm like, damn, why y'all let me put this out?
Mm-hmm. Oh, she said she bought Swan Song as well, too.
Ooh, okay. And there's a book I need to retouch. It was about these six dudes. They were basically following this cat. This they have like they're like a blank slate, but like they're following this cat that's leading them towards this higher purpose. And it's essentially trying to lead them to the art gallery, which is something I need to explain, but it's too much to explain.
Mm-hmm. Constance is laughing, and Vaughn, she laughing too. And then Vaughn's co-signer talking about get him, y'all.
What you mean get him? Bonds, have you been to my site recently? It's talking about my comic books. Or have you been to my what you call it, my community wall? Hey, if y'all haven't been to Sugsverse community wall, y'all need to go check that out. I've been putting a lot of promos out, artwork from 3D to cell shading on Photoshop, a few AIs. I've been putting it out on there, promo and everything. Go to Sugsverse community wall.
Mm-hmm.
Expand your mind, because I
Yeah,
promise it will.
Yeah, instead of them being all freaky like Constance talking about rubbing your head until you going to sleep and things.
Yo, a lot of these women be trying to, they be like that though. That's the thing. A lot of them be like that. All freaky and shit. I'm trying to be philosophical. I'm talking about meta logic and meta mathematics. I'm talking about ontology, surpassing maximal attributes and modes, and they talking about how what they are. I'm trying to surpass existence, boundless folds over, and you over here talking about you wet.
Now that's what we were saying earlier about that. They're trying to change you, bro. Trying to change you. All right, so Sweet Rita, she said this: if you can identify alpha males as pedos, then what does an sorry, damn. All right, if you can identify alpha males as a pedo, then what does an ideal equal to as a man?
And she's still stuck on this.
Yeah, she gonna be stuck on this for a minute until
I'm gonna let her stay stuck on this for a minute.
until she get a satisfactory answer from you.
She's not gonna get one. That's the thing. She's not gonna get a satisfactory answer.
Vaughn said, "I've been seeing the action figures." Constance laughing, talking about Urban don't start. Sweet Rita, she said she just trying to get an understanding of your personality of an ideal.
But you've gotten my. How have y'all not gotten an idea? Y'all know me at this. Not really, but y'all know some stuff about me at this point. What y'all hear on here, this is part of me. You want the full me? Go to my website, and that's actually being real because that is my life and passion. My books, my web novels, my art. That is me. Those ideas you see, that is how I be talking when I'm not on here. That is how my mind operates because that's what I be creating. It's that of a creator.
Mm-hmm. Vaughn say, trying to put that sex voodoo on you as in Constance.
See, this is what I be saying. These women don't be helping me. They be trying to sabotage me. They be trying to they're an impediment.
I mean, I could relate to Lionel though because I also put in my work into doing these shows, these live shows. Then also when I be doing my DJing stuff too. So yeah, I understand exactly where he's coming from on that. You could learn a lot from me just by listening to my podcast and also how the way I DJ and how I interact. Everything y'all see me doing that's literally who I am. Everything I talk about is literally who I am.
But they go and concentrate on what they want to concentrate on because they women.
Mm-hmm. South Pass, she said, I asked what kind of a man are you? I didn't ask what defines you.
And I told you I'm an idea.
So why is that hard to accept? South Pass, why is that hard for you to accept that he's saying that he's an ideal? If that's what he say he is, then it is what it is. I don't think that he needs to like break it down to the lowest common denominator for you to understand that.
But this goes back into the whole opening the door thing and how they prescribe opening the door as quote unquote kindness, but then everything that come out of their mouth is prescribed to you being a man because they want to put those specifications on men.
Wait a minute, what you say, Constance? Constance talk about Lionel do a sex book. Shit.
Of course. of course. I do have erotic material though. I do have it, but they're like mixed in, and I don't exactly remember what books they're mixed into. Like I be having girls who have orgasms that destroy the multiverse.
Damn. South Pass should say, you brought this question to me. I was here when you first asked for me, something like that.
And I gave you the answer. You asked the question, and I gave you the answer. She asked, "What is an idea? What do you mean by an idea?" And I told her.
And she says, it still never answered the question. I have no understanding of an ideal man. Oh, and Constance, she asked her, what's the title of your sex book?
I don't know. It's not. No, no. It's not a book. It's a chapter in the book because that's not what I'm writing for. It's a chapter in the book, and I don't know which books I've done it. I'd have to really look into it and try to remember. I also have them on my website, but I don't remember exactly which characters have those side stories in.
Isn't it in the damn the Negropolis
I already knew
storyline?
you were about to go there. There might be some in that.
But because I remember seeing one of the AI characters and I scrolled down, she had some perfectly good titties there.
I'm trying to think.
It was one of them I scrolled down and you literally seen the titties because it was like you was telling me about that it was like a radical part.
So this one, God, what? This wasn't going to be a character you showed on the stream.
No. This
Right.
this is after when we end the stream and we were just
Yeah.
talking. I scrolled down there and I saw it.
'Cause I do got some. I don't know which one it is though. It's some. I know the House of Black Opophis should have some of the women in there should have that story. Should have some erotic material. Actually, the top his three wives should all have one story in there. It's another story. I know it. I have to look at my characters to see. If I saw my characters right now, I would know who has it. But I do have erotic material. It's just not books. It's just chapters.
Yep, yeah, chapters. Yep.
But look how horny these women are.
Mm-hmm. Cause it's talking about earlier. Who titties you see? No, it's one of his characters, and in his story. Yeah, she was dressed very sensual. And so she was wearing like this see-through garment where you see her titties. And I looked at her, I like, damn, she got some perfect titties for
In
AI.
terms of, oh, you said AI too. So now I'm starting to think it might be 3D.
Yeah, it was 3D AI. It was like a 3D, like a realistic 3D. And I
I'm gonna
knew
have to
it
show
was
you
in
both.
the Blackopolis store. I knew I seen it in there.
I'm gonna have to show you some stuff because I got a lot of 3D stuff too. Because 3D was doing this stuff before AI came, and I got a really good computer in order to really do my 3D stuff. But some of it does literally look like current AI. But I have to still use 3D shit mainly because AI sucks with hands and feet. So if you see perfect hands and feet, then it was 3D.
Yeah. It was 3D.
It
Cause like,
definitely looks
cause the,
your
the
phone.
whole entire model looked perfect. And I looked at, I like, goddamn, she looked like a perfect woman.
I
Then like she was wearing this sensual outfit, right? And one of her titties was just showing. It was just there. It was
I,
just right
I
there.
used I used to get a lot of clap back from women because of my 3D art, and they was like, "Real women don't have titties like this. Her titties are too perfect, or real women aren't as beautiful as this. She's too beautiful." I'm like, "Damn."
Yeah, her titties wasn't sagging or nothing like that. It was just perfectly there. It was like, Okay.
As for Sweet Rita, if you don't understand, I'm going to reword it in a different way. You would have to look at it more as like an apophatic theology or negation principles, essentially, what I'm not doing in order to prescribe that. Because I don't actually have to have women, you know, try. These women know what I'm about generally. They know I'm going to protect them. They know I'm going to provide. They know I'm going to be blunt. Like, what more do you need to know?
Mm-hmm.
And if they
Um.
hear about my backstory, they definitely know what I'm not going to do.
So Vaughn said you need to do some 3D model with some big men.
I'm definitely not doing that. You know, it's actually easier to do an AI, but then if I do AI, I'm just going to put it out there and not put no effort into it. And I actually put effort into the models that I do because everything at the end of the day gets touched up. I take it on Photoshop and I touch it up. I fix things. I reshade stuff. Like where people might generate AI art and it's like, oh, I got my picture and they throw it out there. If I generate AI art, that shit gonna have 2, 3, 4 hours put into it to make it look good. So, because I'm still an artist at the end of the day, and if I do 3D, understand that doing 3D, I have a clay model. Unless you want to buy some mega expensive pack, but I have clay models, and then you have to start making the muscles, making the genitals, shading them, really putting the skin on. And while I'm trying to figure out what to do, that means I got to look at this naked guy for hours. I'm not doing that. I don't want to look at him. Unless he has my face on it, I don't want to look at him. Now, I want to look at the women. I'll look at them, and I put a lot of effort into my women. But I don't want to make no dude because I got to look at him.
So, bro, you be rubbing on them 3D model on titties, bro, as you creating them.
No, I don't do that.
I think he be so put to my yeah, girl. You know your credit make you fine as fuck. Who's your
But
daddy?
hey, I do hype myself up. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna lie. I do hype myself up. I be like, damn, I just made a baddie.
Nigga her be set up her rubbing on her ass and shit. Got clay all on his hands and
So to be fair on that, also, that's also an I definitely do an indicator of what I'm into by a lot of my 3D women. You could definitely get a glimpse of what I'm into, or the girls I use for promotion because I have they're generally what I would date.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you ain't lying about that though. Like, just about every woman that you made is generally a woman that you shoot your shot.
Yeah. So and you know how dudes would be like, you'll see a chick and they'd be like, yeah, shoot your shot, and they'd be like, nah, and they'd be like, come on, you scared? No, it's just not what I'm into. But then they'd be like, shoot your shot at some hippo, six
Not
hundred
a damn
pound girl,
hippo.
Jabba the Hutt. Like, dude, y'all just mess with anything.
So why you don't create no big back women though, bro?
So I can. It's just I'm not into them. And like I said, I want to be able to look at the girl while I'm creating it, and that becomes the problem. So if I'm looking at her while creating it, I gotta somewhat be like, damn. But that just don't be my mentality. I do got some thick women though.
Mm-hmm. But now that man, that's crazy work though. I ain't lying.
But I've been doing art since I was a child. If there was anything I excelled in, it was art classes. Like I stayed one in. I took those very seriously. I drew at home. I drew in. Just every class, I was always just doing that. And then, when I started really using the computer, I started using Paint, that old ass program, before I really got into Photoshop. One of my uncles, he started me on Poser,
Mm-hmm.
which allowed me to start designing 3D characters. Although he didn't give me a guide, so I was like, figure it out yourself. But and now you got the AI stuff, which I don't really mind because people will ask your opinion on it, but it depends on, you can tell the dudes that are putting in some real effort into some of that, or people that's just whipping stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that much of an issue, though, in my opinion, but I like to put real effort into it, even after I create it, because, I'm an artist.
Yeah. That's understandable though. I get it. I get it. Constance, she said, everybody, I don't do big guys either. I am picky. That's interesting, Constance, because Lionel one Constance, she's a slim girl too. She's actually like the type of woman that you'll actually holler at.
Yeah, I seen a picture of her.
Yeah, she's pretty slim. Cause normally slimmer women normally go for the bigger dudes. Normally, but
Definitely money.
yeah, well, yeah, especially they have money. They'll
That's
definitely
why
give them
Bond's
a
with her
chance.
name.
A Speak said Lionel wants a thick chick like Demetrio Obidor. You know who Demetrio Obidor is, right? Obidor.
No, why the name isn't hitting me.
So she was a newscaster, right? She was a newscaster in Dallas, but eventually she ended up getting laid off or fired, whatever. So now she do content correction on YouTube. She be going around and tasting foods, all over the nation and stuff. But she thick though. She is thick. I have to show you a picture of her, bro. Cause she do have a
Okay,
YouTube channel and everything.
but
But
yeah,
yeah,
y'all
yeah,
go ahead.
she was that newscaster one where she was like thick, had that thick booty and everything doing news. One of them tight dresses,
I
telling the
never pay
weather and
attention to
shit.
the newscasters. I
Hmm.
never paid attention to the newscasters. Let me
Yep.
complain.
I'm surprised Demetri haven't gained weight. Cause she be going around and be eating any old damn thing, be all over Vegas. She if she's not in Vegas, she's in Texas. One of them two. If she's not in Vegas, she's in Texas. Going around eating. Speak said you Speak said Lionel know who she is. I'm pretty sure he do. Once we show the picture of her, I'm pretty sure he know who she is. Ronnie, he asked have you contacted to Japan or Korea American publishers dumb you down?
Say that again.
So in other words, he asked you, have you contacted one publishers either in Japan or Korea because the American publishers dumb you down?
Yeah, I agree with that, and no, I have not contacted them. But you see how they look at black content, also, and I definitely am a strong oriented black content creator. But at the same time, I'm trying to build for myself because I don't want someone else's name attached to it. Like,
Yeah,
that's the thing. I don't want no one else's name attached to it. I think we're too used to having other people's name attached to our work.
yeah, I agree to that.
And it's super easy at that point to just take your work away and someone else is attached to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, I agree. So you gotta keep that in house and original for sure.
And you can't complain. Like, you can't complain when it's like, okay, you're getting turned down because this isn't the 80s or 90s anymore. Dude, you can do it yourself. I don't use Amazon, but Amazon's literally like, yo, We'll publish you. The problem is you got to promote yourself, but we'll definitely publish you.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no excuses anymore.
Yep. Constance is asking you, do you like females with a lot of tattoos or just one or two?
I mean, it depends on what's a lot. Like if it looked like a snake skin all over you, or if you look like a whole museum of art, I guess it depends on your faith.
Constance, how many tattoos you got?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
That's probably gonna be the determining factor right there.
Like me and what's his name? Me and Speak was actually having a conversation similar to that question. And the thing is, it's like when we were talking about the comic book industry, the thing is I was talking about Marvel and about how they were selling everything
Mm-hmm.
because they had to sell, they were selling all their rights away. People are like, well damn, how long does it take to get, their rights to X-Men back? They sold that shit back in '93, trying to keep the lights on. Every major hero they had, they sold the rights to it. And it was like, because they was just trying to keep their lights on. So other people could just produce whatever they want, and Marvel would have no say so in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that to ever be my work. George Lucas, he sold his rights to Star Wars in the '90s. So whatever he said meant nothing. It's all whatever Disney said.
Yep. Constance says she had one tattoo. So, Constance, where your tattoo at? That's gonna be the deciding factor to see if you got
I'm
the
glad
tramp
you knew
stamp.
that. Yep. Glad you knew that.
Yeah, that's gonna be the deciding factor. If you, it depends where your tattoo is at. If you got a tramp stamp tattoo, then yeah.
Your name might be there. The thing is, your name could be there, but then at the end of the day, they can just rewrite history.
Mm-hmm.
Like people love Dragon Ball, right? And a lot of people don't accept Dragon Ball GT as being canon or being part of their timeline. And they're like, only what Akira Toriyama writes is factual. But he doesn't have rights to Dragon Ball. That's the thing. Shueisha has rights to Dragon Ball. They can
Mm-hmm.
literally retcon whatever they want, and he can't do nothing about it.
Yep.
I don't. So to me, it's like people always look at it like, "Hey, have you ever thought about working for this company or asking these people to do your stuff?" Well, damn, I might as well just give them all my rights.
Mm-hmm. Oh
That-
wow, she said her tattoo is on her right leg at the bottom of her ankle, and it's a tattoo of a cross with a rose around it.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I don't know, Constance may unqualified for that if he said interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, so I think we is best to. I mean, that's why y'all have YouTube. Although I mean, YouTube owns part of your stuff, but it's essentially yours. But at the same time, you know where I'm going. Like YouTube still can be like, you know what? Nope, this my shit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That is true. Like even though we have the rights to our work or whatever, right? Any given time, YouTube could just end our channel and still
Yup.
have our work.
So it's like this becomes the gamble when you're giving stuff over. Again, and I had that mentality back then. It rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm not saying anyone in the chat said anything, but people used to be when I was younger. Have you ever thought about working for Marvel? Have you ever thought about working for DC? Have you ever thought about going to a publisher? but they weren't saying, "Have you ever thought about creating your own entity?" That and it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 20 years old, and that's rubbing me the wrong way. Like, no one. How come they're not asking if I want to create something?
Yeah, and that's true. See, part of that, you have to be ready to do that. Case in point with me and DJing, right? Like, I don't mind being a mobile DJ. That's fine. But now I'm in the mindset where I want to be more than that. You know, where I'm literally transforming that to an actual business. So, first of all, I had to change my mindset on that so I could start doing it. Now, since I changed my mindset, now I'm doing it where I'm no longer just a mobile DJ. I'm actually becoming a actual business. You know what I'm saying? Where I provide additional services besides DJing. You know, like lighting services and other type of services as well too.
And this is where I say I got to give credit to my mom. Got to give credit where credit is due, because I don't know if you know who James Patterson is, but he's an author.
Mm-hmm.
And
Y'all know where he is.
I was reading his book, Daniel X, and it was about this little white kid who could warp reality. Except I thought his powers were pretty limited, but he could warp reality. But I was actually enjoying the story, and I'm hyped up over this story. And then my mom was sitting here like, "Well, why haven't you published your book yet?" And she wouldn't even let me make an excuse like, maybe the publishers won't like it, or let me beat myself up, because she was like, because you could easily just self-publish your stuff or something. There's too many advantages right now for you to use, and this is 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, she's right. Wouldn't even let me make the excuse. She was right. Next thing you know, I'm publishing my book. I'm promoting it. I'm like the dude at Walmart sitting at the table. I'm going out to Barnes and Nobles. I had my first two books in Barnes and Nobles actually, and like, it was because of her that I really was like, no, can't make no excuses. Let's put this out. Why brag about someone else's story when you can brag about yours?
Yep. Yeah. Facts.
So,
Kenyatta, she said she loved James Patterson. Oh, she also said you should correct your own. It would be some heavy lifting, but it would be worth it. You know, I agree with you on that, Kenyatta, because like I was saying earlier about me branching out and having my own DJing business, it is a lot of work behind that. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that your business is legit, legal. You know what I mean? You got to do some paperwork for us like taxes and in the future. You know what I'm saying? All this um, HR stuff, all kind of stuff that goes
yeah.
behind, building a business. But even going through the process of marketing, advertisement, because now you're doing it on your own. So a lot of it is coming to play there. But I agree with her that once when you do that, do the heavy lifting on it, go through the tears behind it, the growth pains behind it, it'll be like very beneficial.
Mm. Hey, the heaviest lifting right now is promotion. Real
Mm,
talk.
yeah, facts.
Building a team too, if you want to build the team, but definitely promotion. But I mean, again, it's all about being consistent.
Hmm.
And when people don't see results, they lose confidence. And I'm sure, I mean, people have had these talks, but you see this personally. People don't see results, and then bam, they just lose the confidence, and then they don't keep pushing. And then they get mad, and it's like, damn, how come I'm not making, anything happening? Well, nigga, you're not making moves.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not making moves, and you just got to go through the process, man. You got to go through the growth pains, because that's
It's
what's going to help you.
enjoy the journey.
Hmm.
Enjoy the journey. It's the whole thing with, like, you can look at Stan Lee, and people look at Stan Lee, but they look at the results after all his hard work and stealing. But dude put out Captain America the same time DC was putting out Batman's. Captain America was a flop. Next thing you know, he comes back out. This is the 40s. He comes back out in the 60s with Marvel, and it's popping off now. In between there, of course, he was trying to steal companies, steal ideas, do some small stuff, but it was Marvel that actually got it popping back in the 60s. And again, he put in that work.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Facts. Kenyatta, she says she do business plans, LLCs, EINs, marketing, publishing, all of that.
Wait, is she married?
Yeah, I think Kenyatta married.
I need to make sure I talk to her the right way. She got me about to start flirting.
and she says she loves sci-fi.
You see what I'm saying? It sounds like she was promoting herself. Austin's got competition.
Kenyatta, she said I took my 25-year corporate career and instead of making money for them, I do it myself.
And I feel that. I mean, that's sexy. I feel that.
Constance laughing.
Dang, Sweet Rita and Vaughn's left. Did we beat them up that bad?
No, they probably in the bushes on watching, chilling.
They got nothing productive to say anymore? I got it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Vance is finally thinking about doing her night shift live again since we done got on her about it.
I need Vaughn's to promote for me. She be having some people in her chat. She need to promote for me too.
Constance said, Lionel, everything's sexy to you.
Not everything. Not everything. Like that rapper, that Sue and Lift, that's not sexy to me.
Okay, I got you, Kenya. I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I agree with you, Urban. Like keep going on your path, you know. I tried to tell Speak that, but he ignores me. So can't even help him. We're trying to tell Vaughn, but she ignoring us. And it sounds like we good people. All we do is try to help people and give them advice.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Are,
pushing.
are you? Oh, Kenya, you say I need a business plan? Yeah, I already got one business plan. Yeah, I already have one. It's in motion right now.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Because all I got to do is ask my mom, but then that means I got to do some shit for her.
Yeah, like usual.
Like literally, all I got to do is ask her, but then that means I got to do something for her.
Hey, bro, man, I been like watching your mom lives, her past live stream. Your mom
Mhm.
been sitting up here showing her shoulders and stuff lately. I like, I see Lionel mom trying to look all sexy on there.
She's been going to the gym more. She's been feeling fat, so she's been working out more, and she's trying to get ready for the summer. So she's just been putting in all that extra work.
Oh
And
Lord, hot girl summer, huh?
so she's just trying to. I already know where her head is at.
Yeah, she's sitting up here showing her chocolate shoulders and things, and smiling all seductively while she teaching people about business.
I'm trying to think. What was she teaching this time? Uh, what was she
she,
teaching?
she was teaching about staffing the last time. The last live I seen, she actually had people. Looked like she had people on Zoom.
Most likely,
Yeah, she was doing a Zoom class.
so that's the only thing she does. Yeah, she was doing a class today. Also, she was just walking in the building around 8. So that's 5 her time, and she's trying to teach people about AI right now, also, and how to use AI to build websites, how to use how to integrate AI as basically a companion to help you with your business ventures. I mean, she'd be right there watching the exhibitions and everything. Have her whole staff. They'd be watching the exhibitions when they drop because it's necessary right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Constance asks, how old is your mom?
why?
Yeah, you said why strongly. Why? You don't even know how old my mom is.
Here, I I am 35. And she is 11 years older than me. You can do the math.
Nah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Oh, my bad. Women math.
Yeah, that's that women mad, bro.
That women math.
That's that woman math, man. Mm-mm-mm.
They already showed that, y'all.
Oh, Kenyatta's asking what's her channel. She need to. I need to get my mom to watch her.
Oh, what is her channel? Individual Audacity? I think that's what it is. Or D.
Yep.
Williams?
Yeah, D Williams, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I drop it. I drop her channel in the chat. Let me find it real
You
quick.
stay asking, hey, did you watch my show? No.
So did you want to tell her? Did she watch my show? What did you watch Urban show?
Now she's seen some stuff of yours now at this point. So she has seen some stuff now.
Hey, why everybody trying to be like me, man? When I say I'm doing a pop up live, then everybody wants to do a pop up live like her, man.
That's good, man. Let them follow the leader.
Yeah, cause I'm an influencer.
Yeah, you are an influencer. Let them follow the leader. That's where I also hear stuff, by the way. When I listen to my mom and when I have certain people, certain women,
Do. Lionel, you sit up here hopping down and hopping off and hopping
my
down,
bad,
hopping off.
because I'm working, man. So you got certain women that'll sit here and try to tell me certain things. My mom is actively in the dating market, actively on these dating apps. The woman travels to a different city and state every 2 weeks. And I am in her ear or seeing the messages that these men are giving. This is why we can say there's a lot of simps out here. There's a lot of beta men out here. There's a lot of desperate men. And a lot of these guys are opening up their conversation with sex. That's how they're starting it all. They want they want the box.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it. I get to see the messages. Like, and she thinks it's the older men who got the most issues right now. Because you'll hear people constantly try to say, well, the older guys are a certain type of way. And it's like, they the worst ones. These dudes that are 40, 50 years old, they don't know how to talk to people.
Yeah, that's true.
But these women want to believe something else. And then when they'll sit here and say, like, hey, okay, so now you have a woman saying this, and I guarantee she's dating more than most of these women who are having these conversations. And they're like, "Well, what type of men are you meeting?" All types, all types. She's
Uh,
meeting all types. Go ahead.
appreciate the concert. She said on Good Show tonight she's enjoying this.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I think she missed the last few shows.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, we got on concerts because she went part-time on us. Like on concerts, you need to start putting up to the lounge a lot more.
I'd say you was too aggressive, but apparently she like aggressive niggas. Constance definitely looked like the type of chick who was dating the nigga from Rough Riders or from Diplomat. He definitely looked like that.
Yeah, concerts something else, man.
You don't look like she was ever dating an intellectual or educated man. She looked like she was dating the thugs.
Hmm. Well, concert said, Lionel, don't do me.
I had a great joke for that, but I'm not going to do that to you. I'm just saying, she just invites it, but it just there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, because she says she's single now, so that means she got her head together. I hope.
Hmm. She said she had dated thugs, though.
I know. You can hear her talk. She was dating DMX from Belly.
Damn. Hey, that man say they had a whole discussion about DMX. Oh my God, DMX from Belly. Ooh, he could get it. Like what
Yup,
the
I
hell? So
remember
you
that
want a
night.
straight thug dude?
I remember that night. Hyped him up. Actually, speaking of that, in a sense, I've had been listening to my mom talk to me about how there's this guy in Atlanta and how he has just basically a harem of women that he's rotating because he's a single black man that's straight in Atlanta. And I told her that means he has options. He has more options than these women do.
He sure
And
do.
and she said that's exactly what he told her. And because of that, he knew what he could do to these women. That he could just rotate them out different days of the week because he's in demand. He's more in demand than what they are. And then she brought up about this cult where this one dude had got almost 100 women pregnant. And then she brought up this other dude that he's just slinging around. He's got all these women. And I brought up the conversation about how women will sit here and say these men are out here just being hoes and whatnot. But I'm like, but aren't y'all proving the point that only a small minority of men is doing all of this? You're
Hmm.
saying one man, 100 girls, one man, 80 women, one man, 70 ladies. Like, it sounds like it's a few dudes that's making this happen.
Hmm.
So it sounds like the women are the issue. Because they be like, oh, you men are picking wrong. Sound like the women are the one picking wrong.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. That's exactly what it sounds like to me.
What is Constance? What do you do for a living? Or what are your long term plans in terms of what do you plan to leave in the world? Leave on the world?
Damn, this dude here want to ask her questions like she get ready to go to college.
I need to know though. That's the thing. You know, it's this is, and trust me, I get a lot of women with this who can't act. Why? Another reason why these girls don't work out.
So Lionel Kunster said, minding my business.
Of course. That's not a good answer. Come on, you got to represent women right now. Show out, Constance.
Oh, she also said she don't like weak guys. She like for guys to stand up for themselves.
The hell does that mean?
She said she don't like no punk bitch.
I know what she's trying to say, but when women say that, I don't. When women say that, I don't think they understand what they mean because they'll say they don't like that, but at the same time, they don't understand what that means, and then they generally equate that to the DMX from Belly. They equate that to that means I need to get me a thug dude that's going to choke me, stomp me out sometimes, cuss at me, disrespect me. And they'll say they don't want that, but then their resume will prove differently.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll be like, Lionel, you're wrong when I'm actually right.
So Constance asks, how many books do you read a day?
How many books do I read a day? Probably one, if I'm being honest, at this point. I mean, I'm an author. Like I'm literally writing all the time. Writing, revising, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm damn near writing a light novel a day
That Constance says she don't like disrespectful niggas.
anymore. That's what she forgot to say. Anymore. I know how these girls try to play these word games.
That Kenyatta, she says she write for about 12 hours a day.
Yeah, see? Austin, she's friends with Gertrude. I haven't seen her around either.
Yeah, Gertrude been doing her own thing. She been doing
Okay.
her own thing, chilling with her biker family and stuff. She really haven't been posting a lot of videos, but when she do, that's what she been doing.
I see Constance don't like to get put on the spot, but she clearly likes attention when given by the right people.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, she ain't someone who's been trying to change me. She just listens. And then, she's horny. But she don't be trying to change me.
That fool says she listen and she just horny.
Yeah, I get that. And her criticism isn't that bad. I mean, I don't know how much she's actually heard though. She be in and out. So I don't know how much she really knows about me or have heard. But she doesn't give me clap back though either. I've noticed that.
Yeah. Generally, Constance don't be doing all that clap back. She'll kind of troll you a little bit, but if she's down for you, she'll definitely be down for you.
That sounds like a hood girl. But I got you.
She said, Lionel, you down right. I like listening and I like sex sometimes too.
Does Constance cook?
Yeah, Constance, do you cook?
I gotta ask women that all the time because these younger women aren't cooking. Mm. That generation about to phase out of women cooking. And their mind right now it's all about I'll order something out for 'em.
Hmm. She said, yes, she can cook.
What can you cook?
Well, forget it. Kenyatta, can you cook too? I already know the answer to this because we asked this before Kenyatta, but I don't think Lana don't know. So Kenyatta, can you cook too?
What does Kenyatta look like?
Kenyatta, what do you look like?
I mean, that's important to know. Constance wanted to play around, but she eventually let me see.
Can y'all say absolutely?
Because I know a girl. I mean, she's ultra beautiful, Indian chick, but she can't cook. And
Damn.
I know, right? And like, she makes jokes about how she's the one who burns Pop Tarts in the microwave, and she's the one that have the broccoli turning black and have the whole house smelling like smoke. And dude, that's actually a good thing. Not that, but me, my brother, and sister, completely different schools, but we all was taking cuisine classes.
Mm-hmm.
Every last one of us can tell you the women in that class, the girls in class didn't know how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Three different ages, three different schools, three different classes. One common denominator is the girls didn't know how to cook.
Yeah. So Constance said that she will run a man bathwater if you want me to.
What the hell?
The Constance said online I could cook simple stuff, what my mom had taught me when I was young. Oh, and Kenyatta said her pen name is KB Whitaker author. You can Google me. Hell, let's Google her. I'm gonna Google her right
Yeah,
now. Let's
Google
see.
her. Let me see what she looked like.
Google her right now. Let's see what's up. Do do do. KB Whitaker or I. Hmm, hmm, hmm. So Kenyatta, one of your books is My Music in My Notebook by KB Whitaker. Is that you? KB, there's a KB Whitaker that's a public figure.
I'm glad I'm the only line that sucks. I ain't got time to be researching y'all like that. I need to be able to look you up and just see you. Like Constance was like, look her up, and yet I found 10 people with that name.
you have to kind of dig deep with Constance on unless you're
I'm
friends
like,
with her on
who the hell?
Facebook.
Which one is you? Are you the white girl? Like, which one are you? And she talked black. But yeah, these young girls aren't being taught how to cook. That was a common denominator in that. I don't know what these moms are doing today or yesterday. Definitely today. And these girls think, you know what? I can just order out for them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what women mean when they say men aren't being taught how to be husbands. Because if we say women aren't being taught how to be wives, they're going to reply and say, well, men aren't being taught how to be husbands. What do you mean? Because when they say he's not changing a tire anymore, I'm like, is that required to be a husband?
So Kenyatta, is this you in this picture? And you
Look how
wearing
we got close.
glasses?
Kenyatta, we shouldn't have to be doing all this work to find you.
Yeah, because it's like a picture. You got glasses on. You got like long hair.
She's sounding
Got me
like
being
DR right
nosy.
now. We gotta find her.
To my DR.
I ain't forget that first conversation. That shit was funny. She said the other night, she made me feel some type of way. And I'm like what? I mean, at the end of the night, you ended up proving I was right. Stuck up.
hmm but yeah, I'm not going to share it on this on live unless you want me to. I could just send this picture to Lionel to his IG.
Yeah, because y'all can't find me on my IG. But I do have an author page. I definitely need to work on that. I'm actually slacking on that. Um, Dude, I'm so immersed in doing the actual book work and creation that I do end up slacking on some other areas, but I am working on it.
hmm
And they do have automated programs, but here's the kicker with those automatic programs that let's say if you want to post something to Facebook, X, Instagram, they have some other crap on there too, Pinterest, you got to change stuff around
hmm
because they're not going to post everything that they're not going to just do a universal share. You got to lessen some things, change image widths, all of that. I'm like, damn, AI, what you good for?
Yep. Oh, she said I could want to share the picture on the stream. Oh, let me
Well, I
let
can't
me
do it
see.
right now.
Oh yeah.
You might, as
Well,
yeah,
what?
you might as well
Not
send it to.
not. Yeah, I sent it to you, Lionel. I sent it to you.
She just want to flex, apparently.
She wants you to see how she look, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. KB. I mean, shit. I mean, Kenyatta. She's pretty.
Man, all these women think they're pretty, but I believe you. I mean, you see their egos. They all think they're pretty. They all be like, I'm not ugly or all of that. And then you got their girlfriends all hyping them up too. I'm trying to figure out how many
Damn it.
dudes are in
The fuck?
Constance DM because I hear how she be talking, so that makes me think she got a roster.
Now her got a roster. Damn.
Kenyatta, she be sounding too good, which also make me think she got a bunch of dudes talking to her. You can't trust these women nowadays, man. They be having all type of dudes in the friend zone.
All right. So I sent the one image to your IG. So it's
I'll
gonna be
see it.
the first. It'll be the first picture whenever you got time to look at it.
All right. Yeah, she's a
But
regular in the lounge too. Shout out to you, Kenyatta.
but yeah. Let me get back to the chat. I got kind of distracted there.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Constance said Lionel wants to see how everyone looks. Kenyatta say I'm real. That's all you will ever hear about me. Um, Constance said on Lionel, I am very attractive. I can't help it.
But I answered that question.
And she said Lionel, but I don't have a lot in my DMs.
That definitely still answered my question.
Oh goodness gracious.
Yeah, I think the AI thing is very serious on some real talk. I mean, there's pros and cons. People are choosing to look at the cons. Some people are choosing to look at the pros. My mom thinks ChatGPT is stupid, not in a sense of that it's stupid, but she's like, it doesn't do what she wants it to do when she's asking for certain things. I am curious which version she's using when she says that. Because part of me thinks she hasn't changed her version, but
Mm-hmm. More likely.
because you know how women are, and she knows she hasn't really used Grok yet. She's seen the exhibition for it, but she hasn't tested it. And I know Grok's AI is literally comparable with ChatGPT's 4.0.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also saying, they're looking at the image generators as well. And right now, they're ChatGPT. I mean, they just literally updated their shit, and so
Yeah.
they have their whole image generator coming out. I personally am sticking to Mid Journey just due to personalization. I put I've done so much work to get it to do what I need it to do that I'm not trying to go over anywhere else. I don't like Canva, but that's me.
Yeah. You talking about Canva with AI or
Yeah,
this Canva period?
Canva with AI.
Yeah, that Canva AI some bullshit, bro.
I'm not like a fan of it, and I've seen it. Um, I really do
Oh,
think people need. Go ahead.
Kenyatta. By the way, you asked me earlier about my business plan, right? Grok AI had wrote my whole business plan for me. Yeah, sure did.
And that's what you need to be using. I mean, at the same time, um, and that's what I was about to say. Like, people need to use the options they have. Google's right at your fingertips. If you have a smartphone currently, you most likely have AI on it. Use the tools to your advantage to succeed. And I mean, if you're an art, I do feel bad. I do feel bad. So one thing about me, as I do have a colorist, and I've worked very hard to find this guy. And because there are some pictures I got shaded and I need him to color it for me. And he can color it as good as an AI would draw it. And he's someone I keep on payroll. And the thing about that is, I see people like him will be needed if AI is consistent with their limb problem. However, once they get that figured out eventually, then artists like him won't be needed. They just came out with they're about to come out with an anime that was completely written and done with AI.
Oh shoot.
I know. So they're trying to prove a point. We know that they've already written movie scripts from just sheer AI. And it's like people need to learn this shit so they don't get replaced. Use it to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's pivotal at this point because it's only getting stronger.
Yeah, facts.
Did you
Kenyatta, she said she is so analytical. AI need you to be concise to the letter to get what you need out of it.
and you do need to be that. And it should be that way. It should be that way. But she's saying her. The problem is, are you quote unquote the average person? Because if you're going to speak on people in general, let's be real. This goes into how we rank in the world in terms of literacy, reading, mathematics, how the school system can literally tell you how we look. Where most of the country can't read above a sixth grade reading level. So they're going to use AI for more so basic stuff, and they're going to be complacent with what they're getting out of it. You
Mm-hmm.
may not be, but a lot of people will be, but they aren't fully embracing it the way they should be.
Yeah. Constance is asking you, can you cook?
Yeah, mama had me on the stove since I was 3. So, and I've been in 5 different international cuisine classes, but I don't like cooking. I can cook, but I don't like cooking. Mama
Mm-hmm.
had me slaving over the stove a little too long as a child. The only time she would cook was Thanksgiving and Christmas. But outside of that, I was the chef for for a little too long. I don't like cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same for me. I know how to cook home very well, but I just don't like to cook. Same with my wife. She know how to cook, but she doesn't like to cook unless we just got to. Or it's just something, you know, that one of us like really, really want, then we're cooking in.
My last ex cooked a total of 3 times, but the rest of that she ordered out. And she said that's feeding me. I cooked a lot, and I always hated it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing my job as a man.
You know, speaking of which, when we do cook right, if we both not busy, we were actually getting in the kitchen. We'll be cooking the meal together.
Nah, y'all can't be in the kitchen with me. Y'all gotta go. Let me do my work. Yeah, go mess with your kids or something. I gotta do some magic in here.
But yeah, me and my wife, we be in the kitchen. We be cooking together and stuff. And you know how I do. I be flirting with her. She be having the time of her life. Hee hee hee
I
hee.
feel it. I feel it. Yeah, my brother, he's actually been to kitchens of all levels. He's worked in the back room. He's trained with chefs. He knows how to cook. He's not the biggest fan of it. He has literally gone, like I said, he's been to more than 30 countries, and he's gone around and seen different cuisines and stuff. But he prefers American food. He don't like the spices in other cultures. He knows American food is bad. He knows American food is poison, but he said it just tastes so much better than other foods around the world.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Kenyatta
also
said.
has, go ahead.
Kenyatta, she said, cooking has gotten expensive. It's almost cheaper to eat out.
I had just said that to my brother, and I was comparing prices of me ordering out versus me shopping. And I'm like, I know people were saying that it was cheaper to make your own food, but I'm not so convinced right now.
Mm-hmm. And Constance, she asked, what's your favorite soul food you like to eat?
You said soul food?
Yeah.
I don't like soul food. And I know it sounds bad, but I don't like a lot of things about black culture. I don't like soul food. Give me
Uh-oh.
something Italian. I know. I had to. Give me something Italian. Give me something Italian.
um, she Constance said she like oxtails.
Okay. Do you make them, or do you get one of these dudes to make them?
Then Constance talk about, well, damn, you don't like soul food?
When you
Then
get
she say, you
introduced to
like
other,
pasta.
I love pasta. When you get into other cultures, I'm just telling you, it's a breath of fresh air sometimes. But this isn't to say black culture's trash, because I know that's how people look at it. But I know we prioritize a lot of trash things in the black culture.
Kenyatta said her kids don't like soul food. Her son is a pro basketball player in Australia, and her
Wait,
daughter is a
kids,
health nut.
kids, you got kids? Oh, I said that. I know. My bad.
No, she said her son is a pro basketball player in
No,
Australia,
that he
and her daughter
old.
is a health nut.
No, I don't want to say old. My bad. But she
She
said
got
she been in
older
doing
children.
it. Yeah, like you sound like my mom. I can't date my mom now.
Constance said she don't have no kids though, Lionel.
That's what I'm talking about.
To Constance, she said she don't even want no kids.
Why don't you want kids though? I have a valid reason, but why don't you want kids?
Yeah, Kenyatta said her son is 28.
Dang. Where's T to say woo child?
Hey, by the way, when I was making that reference earlier, when I was saying people love stealing what I was doing, there was who was stealing it
I
because
know.
she
I know. I
she
caught it.
literally titled her live there. I like, what the hell?
I caught it.
But it's all
I
good though. I ain't
definitely
tripping.
caught it. No, it's good. It's good. Hey, she's more consistent than Vaughn. I'll give her that.
Mhm.
But yeah, like, hey, embrace AI. I mean, you got AI girlfriends now. Although I know people like your female chat loves to make those jokes. But the reality is, I mean, my sister was just talking about that. She says she feels like a lot more women are going to have AI boyfriends and AI bots than the men are.
Mhm.
I said, oh,
Um,
shit.
Constance, she said she just want one or maybe two kids. That's it.
You, she just said she don't want none. Now it's maybe one or two.
Well, women always change their minds. So.
Exactly. That's a red flag. That's how you get trapped. You'll be sitting here and she'd be like, nah, I don't want this. Next thing you know, she'd be talking about, yeah, you know I'm pregnant. Congrats
Child
to
support.
the father. Damn, exactly. And she in Texas, so you already trapped. Nah, see, she couldn't get pregnant in Texas.
Bro gonna tell her to take her across the state line and get her pregnant.
I ain't playing that shit.
He gonna take her across the state line. All right, we finna do a vacation real quick. I'm just gonna go on nut up here you and get you pregnant over here in
You can't,
Louisiana or somewhere.
you can't want these women, man. You really can't. That's why they got to be on your schedule. Mhm. He's like, I don't flex or shit like that. But if I was to get a chick pregnant, this would be the time I'm flexing my mom and how much she makes. Because ain't no way I'm losing this case.
hmm
Mm.
Kenyatta, she said your sister may be right, and also she was saying that she would never be a grandmother. The basketball player and the health nut refused to have kids to bring it to this ugly world.
My mom feels your pain, or I don't know if it's pain for you, but my mom, she wants grandchildren so bad, but her sons refuse to give her grandbabies. Then when my brother said he was getting a vasectomy, it broke her heart. My sister is constantly saying, why would I bring a child into this world? But she's still young. but she's more mature than most of the chicks that we be seeing in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yep.
She's just not happy that her three children aren't giving her grandbaby.
Yep. Constance, she said one day she want kids, but she's not in a rush to have any.
Nah, see, so here's the thing now. So, and I'm being serious, like it's a red flag to me because I don't agree with women who don't want to have kids by the time they're 40 or close to 40. I just don't agree with that. I think that's a stupid logic that they're having.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, like, uh-uh. I don't want to be looked at as grandpa, you know.
Yep. Oh, guess who pulled up to the lounge, bro?
Who?
Selena.
Oh, shit. I'm not saying her name three times, but oh, shit.
So with Selena?
She be trying to have dudes simp for her by saying her name three times. She be trying to have these men submissive. Have you heard her chants? Her in her chats? I said chants. In her chats,
Chance.
when she be going, like you can't tell her nothing. Let a dude just call her Selena. She'd be like, "Excuse me, mother. You better say it three times." I'm like, "Damn!"
Mm-hmm.
And then these dudes do it too. I'm like, "Get the hell out of here."
Yep. Hey, touch of grass. I'm gonna give you one opportunity to stop spamming my chat. If you continue to spam my chat, then my moderator's gonna time me out. So I'm trying to let you ride. Well,
Selena,
never
how was
mind.
your
They did
weekend?
it. Never mind. They did it. Hey, I tried to give Buddy a chance, but
How was your weekend, Selena?
um, Kenyatta, she's saying good night.
Good night, Kenyatta.
Selena said stop lying, and she
Yeah,
said it
right.
was fun.
I'm glad. I'm glad you had a great weekend. Actually, what do you call it? Get this out of here. You know, we had that talk earlier, and Selena's also a very understanding person. I got to put her on the spot. She's understanding because she has high faith, but she doesn't come at me when I'm like, I can't mess with it. And it's not, but she doesn't question if I don't believe or anything like that. She actually tries to understand. So I'll give her that.
Mm-hmm.
Better than your chat, I'll tell you that.
She was asking how was your weekend?
It's been productive. I've got some things accomplished. It's never done though. Still building. If you haven't seen my community wall, plenty of updates. Website got stories on the rise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, been the same for me too. My weekend it's been pretty chill with the family and stuff.
Selena in Texas though.
Yeah, Selena. Well, me and my family, we was out there at the one stockyards today. We was out there chilling at the stockyards.
Selena hanging out with everybody but me got me feeling some type of way.
Yeah, sure. I didn't even get the invite.
Exactly. Like I'm over here in Georgia, and I'm like, damn, I could have just flew her out here. She hanging out with everybody but me. Damn. Oh, I need to check
Um,
this.
oh, she said thank you and she appreciated it.
I don't know. I feel like dudes be complimenting her all the time. Mm.
She
Girl,
she
like,
asking you she asking you in the A? Yeah, he's in the A
okay. So,
or Georgia.
correction. I am north part of Georgia. I'm literally 30 minutes out of Atlanta. Because when we say black men are in Atlanta, that's given a very false narrative because they're going to think these dudes are in the alphabet community. I can't have that. I'm where the rich white people and Asians are in Alpharetta. I got to make sure my resume right.
Yeah, because they immediately equate that to, oh, okay.
Exactly. Can't have that. Can't play that. She was talking about voodoo the other day. How these girls be putting how people, my bad, be putting witchcraft on each other, trying to make you fall in love or do all type of shit. It was actually an interesting conversation because she highlighted the sector that talks about witchcraft and talks about how they do witchcraft. I thought that was a very interesting topic to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep.
And my sister peeks her head into that stuff. Um, just looking at what they're talking about at the end of the day, but it's not something. Why would he put that all there? Uh, so it's just very interesting because you don't
Mm-hmm.
really see that, and in the streets that we're at, you don't see that. Um, I'm
Yep.
just trying to see
Uh,
how to do.
so then they ask you, are you a man's man?
No, I'm an idea. You know what's interesting, Urban, that they're asking these questions, but this is how I literally answer in real life, and it always be having them confused and shit. Always. And it's not like I don't do that on purpose to make people confused or nothing, but that's how I molded my character.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Constance, she says she don't do the voodoo stuff. And then Selena, she also says she just want to say hello and press the like button and she about to go night night.
No, Selena, stay. Where are you going? Mm. She barely comes to the lounge as it is. Stay for a minute.
And she says that you are a sweetheart.
Well, thank you. Some of these other women don't agree.
Now I believe on Constance, she believe you're a sweetheart as well too.
Yeah,
Naya is a sweetheart.
I appreciate that. Because when I go and tell my mom, she be like, F these women.
Yep. Now she's saying bye. Bye.
Have a go. Yeah, the voodoo thing was actually interesting because I know of the occult, but to a certain extent. So I've never really put my head and dove into it. So her
Mm-hmm.
doing that, talking about how these women, she had a girl come on the panel and she talked about her experience in the occult and how, in her experience, she had a whole situation where this dude basically got her in a relationship, used voodoo on her, and next thing you know, she has to listening to everything he's saying, and it had her, basically brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
She eventually got out of it.
So she was in a cult or the occult.
So she wasn't in a cult, but the guy that was basically over her, he was definitely an occultist. Occultist, because I know how it sounds when I say it. So he was in that, and so he was essentially brainwashing her or using his hexes and voodoo to get her to submit.
Mm, gotcha.
Yeah,
Constance,
but
she said that you is a good person. And 22, he have a question for you. He said, have you seen the movie Revolver? It's with Jason Statham and Andre 3000.
no, I have not seen that movie. I will
Yeah,
put it on the list.
I don't think I've seen that movie neither.
I want to see movies like the stuff that I do. Right? That's what I want to see. When I think about, like, I don't know if you saw Tenchi Muyo back in the day. It's an anime.
I did.
So Tenchi Muyo, they stopped the series before they played the full thing. They didn't play it until a little bit later after the first times it originally aired, because the second half of Tenchi Muyo is called Tenchi Muyo Rihaoki. And they had a
Mm-hmm.
character come into the series. His name was Z. Now, before I go into that, prior to this series, Tenchi had got into a fight with this dude named Kagato. And
Mm-hmm.
Kagato, a very powerful character. And he was immaterial, energy manipulation, matter manipulation, fight, gravity manipulation, barrier, all type of shit. Wasn't a dude you could actually really beat. Instant regeneration. Tenchi was able to acquire this ability called the Light Halt Wings, and he generated one into a sword, and he was able to cut through Kagato and essentially erase him, because the sword nullifies all resistance factors and conceptual defenses by a factor of zero. So,
So
but
in other words, Buddy used plot armor.
that's hilarious. But and here's the thing, because that's what it would look like. So I'm going to tell you that's not exactly what it is yet. So later on, now Tenchi can generate three of these wings. Later on in Tenchi Muyo Ryoki, we have a character that appears named Z. And Z, he's this powerhouse. He's angry. We see him flexing his muscles. He basically moves his hand and he shatters the moon. You know, and he's basically testing these three goddesses. He's trying to call them out because these three goddesses are looking for basically an omnipotent creator that's stronger than them. They
Mm-hmm.
created a multiverse. We know that in M theory, there's 11 dimensions, where the 11th is basically everything, conceivable and inconceivable. But in here, we know there's at least 24 dimensions. And they tell us point blank that each dimension is theoretically an impossibility to the lesser one. And basically, the chosen, they get their hands on Z. He's testing their fade, and they basically decide, you know what, we're just going to destroy the universe. And so we get to see one of the Light Halt Wings in action negate with that universal destruction attack. These women created the multiverse, so we know they know what they're talking about. So we now have an idea of what Tenchi can do, but eventually it literally gets into an ontological and meta-dimensional fight when it comes to everyone from Tenchi to the Chosen to Z to this entity called the Counteractor. And this Counteractor had the ability to stop the three goddesses also. But so in effect, she was stronger than them. But then we found out Tenchi was the person they were looking for, but it was actually Tenchi from the future, like 24,000 years in the future, where he would become strong enough to actually be above them.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm getting at, it's a nice little meta-dimensional, meta-fictional type situation that happens late in the series. But this isn't a common thing you see in media, essentially. I'm not saying it don't happen, but it's not common.
Yeah, that because they're looking for the general um writer's model, you know what I'm saying, where you have to have a
Exactly.
plot and all that basic stuff where people could gravitate towards it.
For me, it's like that. I would like to see more of this type of stuff, but this isn't entertaining per se. So, like, let's put it this way: I was watching Lucifer, based off the Lucifer from Vertigo Comics, and which got assimilated into DC. But you got Lucifer on the CW channel.
Mm-hmm.
Lucifer on the CW, they watered him down so much. I was getting annoyed watching this show, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
I was able
but
to watch that show at all, bro. I only made it to
yeah,
season one, episode probably 3 or 4, bro, and I was done with it.
it was background noise. It was background noise for me, but I essentially got through it, and I didn't have the best review of it, but it was essentially background noise. And they had his brother, who I wasn't a fan of either. Then they actually had God, who was a black guy. He was there, but I don't. He was a simp. I know that sounds bad, but he was. And I said, why did the black God have to be a simp? Just why? But ultimately, like everybody there was watered down immensely from their comic counterparts. And I hate that because you had the chance to really show some stuff, but everything doesn't have to be Spider-Man, Batman stuff.
Well, 2 words: CW.
And
That's
I
the
and I
answer.
agree because Supernatural, they did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like their portrayal of God and Lucifer and all of them. I really didn't like their portrayal. And
Mm-hmm.
clearly they're just original stuff, so they didn't water down anything. They're just original stuff. I don't like these portrayal. I love me some. There's a anime named Knowing or Knowing, and essentially it's boring as hell. So I'm gonna just say that point first. It's boring, but near the end of the series, this 8-year-old girl is going against this multi-dimensional threat, and she has this conceptual thing called the dragon torque, the
Mm-hmm.
dragon song. But case in point, what happens at the end of this series is that this 8-year-old girl, is able to multiply this entity. She multiplied and then divided him for every possibility that could be in play, essentially creating an infinite multiverse, which he had already absorbed. That's the type of stuff I like to see. You hear the excitement out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I get tired of the boring, same old crap that we see.
Yeah. Um, no one comes says I'm not in the kitchen, and no, I don't like voodoo because I don't practice voodoo or hoodoo. I studied it, so I researched and studied voodoo and hoodoo, what I'm saying, but it is something I just don't participate in, if that
So
makes
let
any
me know
sense.
if I'm talking with chicks. This is not a conversation that they find stimulating at all. This does not make them wet. They'll sit
Well,
here and be like, huh?
unless they're sapiosexuals, the women that
Like
love intelligent men.
this, they do not get turned on by this. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
unless they
like, oh, well,
sapiosexuals, that's the only way.
they're like, oh, well, you just got to meet you a girl who's into anime. And it's like, well, it's not that simple. It's not just about being into anime, because I meet plenty of girls who are into anime, but they got to really be into the metaphysics as well. But at the same time, like, you don't have to have everything in common. because most of, I mean, pretty much every girl I ever dated, they couldn't talk on my level. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
It never stopped me from getting booty, but they couldn't talk on my level.
Yep. I mean, when you think about it though, bro, would you really want a woman to be on your level to talk
So, so,
exactly the same?
so I'm gonna say this. All I'm doing now to answer you, no, but I'm replying to how the women would talk. They would
Oh,
sit
okay,
here,
gotcha.
you know how they would talk, and be like, "You haven't just given them the right one," or "No, there's a girl out here who talks just like that." Um, Y'all talk about trying to find a needle in a haystack. Nah, that's trying to find a zero dimensional pinpoint in a haystack.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll sit there and be like, "Well, you haven't met all women." But I'll note that these women haven't met this woman.
Yep. Because that's what I'm saying. I don't. Well, when I met my wife, I didn't have the expectation for her to be exactly like me, think like me, or anything like
Exactly.
that.
Because I, because
I
I
just
don't
wanted
have that
her.
expectation.
Yeah, I just wanted her to understand me. That's it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you
That's
understand
it.
me, we good.
And remember, when I was talking, what did I tell those women? These women don't understand me. That was the main thing I stressed out. They don't understand me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But then what
Well,
if they ask? Did you give them a chance?
yeah, facts. Hey, boss lady Constance, she said, "Hey, it's time to go."
Wow.
She said it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, y'all in Texas. That's not late. Constance, you be up all night. She must got to work tomorrow. I thought Constance was at the strip club or something.
I ain't no telling with Constance.
But yeah, like that's what they'll say. Oh, did you give them a chance? I mean, you hear dudes talking, right? But I'm open, like open as can be. And it
Mm-hmm.
does get annoying when you have these, the women, sit here and be like, well, have you talked to all of them and whatnot? Or did you let them really let you in? But then you tell them when you let them in, they weaponize shit against you.
Yeah, true.
Then it's you met the wrong one. So no matter what, you never hold the women accountable. Hence, which becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Constance said, Lionel, mind your business. I am stripping in my bedroom.
It's just interesting, man. You see how they operate, and then they'll swear they're different from the last chick, but then they talk like the last chick. I- So when we talk about accountability, we're told we're wrong. But it's like, how can we be wrong when all y'all do is prove what we're saying?
Yep, all the time. All the time.
But they don't want to hear that. So then it's like, so what makes you different than the last one? Because you literally will meet so many different women sounding the same before you meet someone that sounds different.
Yep. But all right, man, we first gone in the man.
Time to
To
go.
Yes, time to go. It's time to go.
You got your song, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
been fun.
Yeah. True. Great live like always, bro.
And
Great
they have
live.
fun. Well, have a good night, y'all.
All right, y'all have a good night. Appreciate y'all want to tune in to the stream. Sure, we'll see y'all again on the next episode. I'll resume my DJing probably on next week. I just needed a break from it, so we'll do that next week. Yeah. So other than that, peace out, y'all. Y'all have one good night / morning.